Whoa, sorry about that. It is Swac football time. I was out there on that grill. Things got a little hectic today, but I'm here. Hey, come on in. It's first quarter, 11 minutes and 7 seconds left. So you haven't missed anything. It's 0-0. I will start the live streaming as soon as the game comes back on. But this is the Oren G from the Oren G Swac Sports Network. And just like I would tell you every time, hey, November 5th is the last day to vote. Now the game is back on. Let me get you to ALCORN and Alabama State 0-0. Let me start sharing it right now. I was out there on that grill having a little bit, reminiscing like I was back there partying like I was in 1999. But it's all good. But here go the game. It's coming on right now. I do apologize for the delay.
And that defense led right there by Malachi Bailey.
Yeah, Malachi Bailey. He is one of the best edge rushers in this conference. They will move him all around. You will not only see him at defensive end, you'll see him at defensive tackle. You'll see him line up at linebacker. It is the offensive job to find out where number 44 is at all times.
All right, here's third down for Alabama State. They've got trips to the near side. Key is pressured. He's going to sling it around, and the ball is caught in the flats. First down for Alabama State. Being knocked out of bounds on the play is Takarius Bozeman, and those chains are going to move for the Hornets.
Great job by Key, working himself, looking at his first option, didn't have it, bails out, goes to his underneath route, the hot route. Good job by the back, getting downfield, picking up great yardage inside Brave territory.
Alabama State now with first down and 10, ball resting on the ALCORN State 26-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We're down in Mobile for the Port City Classic. And here's a handoff now to Bozeman, and Bozeman's going to drag a few defenders on the play, picks up about 4 yards on that run.
Good inside run again over the left side. You see Bozeman, good downhill runner. 5'8", 178-pound redshirt freshman out of Sidney Lanier High School in Montgomery.
And Bozeman once again picks up maybe one on that play. Yeah, you mentioned Sidney Lanier High School. That school actually just got consolidated with Carver High.
If you can, please
just
hit the like button.
Lanier literally is a stone's throw away from the Alabama State campus. So we know for sure Bozeman has known about Alabama State football for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely. One of the recruits that they wanted to keep at home, not let him out of their own backyard. Now Daquan Kinsey will come in now. This big third down. See what this Brave defense dials up here on 3rd and 6.
Alabama State with more of a tight formation. They're going to go with a play action. Here's Key under pressure, and he's going to have to throw it away, and almost intercepted by Alcorn State on that one. And making that play was Markel McLaurin. If McLaurin was about a foot closer to that football, that's an INT going the other way for the Alcorn State Braves.
Yeah, just a little play action, rolling to his left, but right into the arms of the waiting defender. Good pressure that time coming off the edge. Jaden Post, the 6'3", 270-pound junior, almost forcing the interception.
All right, here's Brandon Gilliam coming up for a field goal attempt. The kick is up. And it is no good. So the Alcorn State defense holds. Alabama State comes up with no points after good field position. Be right back with more flag football.
That field goal kicker gonna find himself sitting on the couch with me. Miss another field goal, see what happens. This game is too important.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
All right, let me get the other Swac scores up.
Some people deny the power of Flamin' Hot. Spicy deniers. They try to deny it to everybody.
Hope everybody's having a great Saturday.
Sometimes it's
hope
just
everybody had a good tailgate.
So why deny it? Unleash your Flamin' Hot.
We are exactly what you think.
I know I've been eating good and drinking good. Feel good.
You think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best.
All right, Swac scores from what's going on right now. Southern 15, Alabama A&M 10. Pine Bluff 3, Jackson State 31, Grambling 21, Bethune-Cookman 17. What I tell y'all, Prairie View 3, Valley 10. Valley gonna beat somebody. Ooh, I'm about to act a fool tonight. Texas A&M 0, Florida A&M 21. And the game we watching right now is 0-0. Ooh, Valley, please, hold on. Just hold on. Those are the scores.
Swac, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice. Winning.
Oh, I did hear something today while I was watching, listening to the Jackson State game. Something to think about.
Are the Swac, building champions for life.
The Swac contract with ESPN ends in 2025.
We are scoreless.
HBCU Go is trying to get that contract. That might change how we look at the games now.
For the 2024
Nothing is set in stone right now.
Classic. Coming back onto the field will be the Alabama State Black Swarm defense. And Ken, when you take a look at this defensive unit, when they say they are the best in the SWAC, numbers don't lie.
Wow, third down defense, first down defense, rushing defense. You go down the line, and they are number one in every category. They're kind of slacking in the passes intercepted, only 10, second in the conference. But other than that, this group is really taking the mold of their head coach, Eddie Robinson Jr.
Here's the first down play by Vaughn, and the pass is caught out on the far sideline for ALCORN State. A gain of about 9 yards on the play. Tavarius Adams coming up with the catch. Second and short coming up for ALCORN.
Xavier Vaughn, he struggled a little bit a couple of weeks ago against Southern, only 10 of 21, 76 yards through the air, had an interception. He was sacked 4 times in that game 2 weeks ago against the Jaguars.
Second down handoff goes to Sewell, and Sewell is met in the backfield. First to meet him in that backfield is DeMarcus Cunningham, another one of these members of that great Black Swarm defense.
Yeah, Cunningham, he flies all over the football, and you see him come in here, just nowhere to run, nowhere to hide that time in the interior of that Alabama State defense.
Third and short coming up for ALCORN State, and they've got a full house backfield, literally. Here's Vaughn in the shotgun, gives it to the last man through, and he's close to the first down marker. We are going to check that spot coming up for ALCORN State.
Yeah, that is the jumbo truck package. You got 2 big 300-pound offensive linemen flanking the quarterback, and then you have Truck Robinson, the tight end, who sometimes will go into the backfield. He had a big 64-yard run for a touchdown 2 weeks ago out of this exact formation. Doesn't get 64, but he gets just enough for the first down.
The sounds of the Tomahawk Chalks in the background signifying the first down for ALCORN State. Here's Xavier Vaughn. He's going to hand it off to Sewell. Sewell around the right side, and Sewell's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play. So, Anthony. Okay. So, so second down coming up now for ALCORN State.
As Anthony Williams getting a carry there. They said they want to get him the ball in space. He's a very electric ball player that they want to see what he can do if they can get him into the open field.
So here comes second down, and we'll call it 4 for the Braves. Still scoreless in the first quarter. And Vaughn under pressure. He's got to throw it away quickly. Once again, that Alabama State defense getting after him quick, fast, and in a hurry.
But the heat was coming in on Vaughn that time. Good job just to throw it away, avoid the sack, live to play another down.
So that another down is third down and 4, approaching the 6-minute mark in the first quarter in this key SWAC battle of teams that currently sit in second place in both the West and the East Division. The Alabama State defense does not let a lot of opposing offenses find success on third down. You just saw that stat right there. So here's Vaughn trying to run the option, and he is going nowhere. Young Roll coming up with the stop right there. Stephon Young Roll is his first name. And they bring up fourth down for ALCORN State.
Yeah, you see just a odd front up there for Alabama State that time, and ALCORN trying to find a rushing lane. There was none to be found as Young Roll in there for the stop after a short gain. And so once again, the Braves are going to have to punt the football away. And this is an ALCORN team. Their first 2 conference games, they averaged 40 points per game. Their last 2 conference games on the road against Southern and Grambling only averaged 15.5 points per game.
Frank Rogers with the punt. McMinn will field it around the 20-yard line, and he's just going to scoot out of bounds. And Alabama State will start with first down and 10 near the 25-yard line. We'll be right back.
Not to name names, but most burger places don't even sell tacos. Meanwhile, I've got my new bacony $3 mummy wrap monster taco and 2 original monster tacos for just $3. Take notes, Ronald. Oops, I named names.
Welcome to Talking About.
Democrat judges put their soft on crime agenda before our safety.
All right, get back to the scores and see if anything has changed. Like I was telling you, I meant to tell you, next week, if you are in Jackson and you have an opportunity to be at the vet next Saturday, HBCU Go will be there. It's just like the college game day. They do the same thing. It's like 11 o'clock our time. Yeah, it should be 11 o'clock Central. And they do the whole college game day atmosphere. So if you are actually there to see the Valley game versus Jackson State game, actually, hey, check out HBCU Go. This is actually, I think, great in my opinion. They're trying to come to every college campus, and they're doing that. So check out HBCU Go at the vet in Jackson. Should be a great time. All right, in the third quarter, 8:21 remaining. Southern 16, Alabama A&M 10. Jackson State third quarter. It's over for Pine Bluff. It's 3-31. Third quarter, with a minute left, Grambling 21, Bethune-Cookman 17. Fourth quarter, 10 minutes left. Fairview 3, Valley 10. Second quarter, 5 minutes left. Texas Southern 0, FAMU 21. And the game we watching is 0-0. Yeah, but definitely check out HBCU Go. Their pregame show. If you haven't downloaded the app, download the app. And like I said, if you're in the Jackson area, go check it out. It's something to see. And like I said, game back on.
It is brought to you by Pepsi, official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the Swac. And we are scoreless still in the first quarter at the 2024 Port City Classic down in Mobile, Alabama, alongside Ken Moore. I'm Mo Carter. Here's Kareem Key handing it off to the first man through, and he is going nowhere on the play for Alabama State, and that was Jakari Kukendo. Doesn't see a lot of action, but he's seen some action today, Ken.
Yeah, on the season, 70 yards on the ground. He and Bozeman getting an opportunity here.
Here's Kareem Key with the pump fake, and the pass is caught, however, could not get a foot down. Out of bounds is A.J. Harrell. Third down already coming up for Alabama State.
A good throw, just kind of led the receiver out of bounds a little too much. Harrell could not get his foot down, so 2 quick plays, and Alabama State with another 3rd and long coming up here against this ALCORN defense. Defensive battle here early on in the opening quarter.
ALCORN State, 41%, 9th in the Swac. Here's Key, finding across the middle, and it is caught, and it'll be enough for the first down. Move those chains, thanks to a pass catch right there by Jalen Jones.
A good, strong throw by Key that time. Had time in the pocket. Jones sitting down right in front of that zone defense. For a nice little soft spot there ahead of the chains to move the sticks.
So Kareem Key bringing the Alabama State offense, moving them down the field from left to right on your television screen. First down to 10 for the Hornets. Key is going to hand it off, but wait, we got a whistle on the play, so we will have our first penalty of the day.
It's under further review.
Actually,
catch.
they are going to review this last catch to see if it's going to be complete or incomplete and if it's a first down or not.
So our first review of the afternoon.
So no penalty on the play. They just called it dead. And our head referee today is Mr. Preston Clipper.
Good look there at head coach Cedric Thomas.
And there's Preston. Had a chance to see Mr. Clipper last week on our game down in Tallahassee between Southern University and Florida A&M. A game in which Florida A&M was able to pick up a victory over the Jaguars.
Big call early in this ball game, because if it is overturned, then that would force Alabama State into a punting situation. So pretty big call coming up here. Ball currently spotted at the 36-yard line of the Hornets. If the play stands, it was ruled a catch on the field.
And here you are listening to the sounds of dynamite from ALCORN State University, located in Lorman, Mississippi.
After further review, the play on the field stands. First down.
And Preston Clipper says that the play will stand.
And referee there, Preston Clipper, you got to watch him. Mr. Clipper, boy, he calls some crazy stuff now.
So
watch
far,
Mr. Preston
in the early moments of this ball game, 4 of 6, 22 yards.
When Clifford is calling your game,
talk about this kid, a walk-on.
Stevie Wonder
Alabama
and Helen Keller. You see, this man don't know what the hell he's doing.
And
I'm telling you.
Coach Robinson said he kind of found us. We didn't find him. And had 3 quarterbacks go down early in the season, including Andrew Body, who we'll talk about later. But you have to give a lot of credit to Kareem Key. Only goes 5'10", $165, soaking wet.
All right, here's Key. Play action pass. He was slinging the ball. It's tipped, and it'll fall incomplete. Second down coming up for Alabama State.
Well, that's one of the disadvantages, Mo, of that 5'10" frame. You get some of those balls tipped at the line of scrimmage. So you'll see they'll try to move Key out of the pocket, try to get him some clear throwing lanes to get the ball downfield.
We talk about the injured quarterback for Alabama State. Of course, Andrew Body got injured in the first game with a shoulder. Jonah O'Brien, concussion, and James Hayes out with an ACL. So literally, they're not down to their third, not their fourth, but their 5th string quarterback. And Key has, matured over these last couple of weeks. Here he is now handing off a good gain up the middle for Alabama State. Positive yards picked up by Marcus Harris II.
So we're getting to look at 3 tailbacks that we haven't seen a lot of so far this year for Alabama State. So
it's definitely running back by committee for the guys in Montgomery. And Coach said that, hey, if the guys can play, they can play. Here's Kareem Key to play action pass. Once again, he's going to try to throw it deep, just out of the reaches of
almost.
The wide receiver.
That was almost.
That is
you got to remember, this is a 4-string quarterback that Alabama State is playing with.
You see the end zone angle here. Penalty marker on the play.
First down.
He said holding on the defense.
Alcorn State called for defensive holding, which will result in a first down for Alabama State.
Who made the call? That's all I'm saying. Look who made the call.
Andrew Smith appears to be the culprit. He's saying, no, that's not the case, but
adjudication says otherwise.
Yes, sir. So first down to 10 now for Alabama State. Ball just outside the midfield stripe. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Swac action here at the Port City Classic. Here's Kareem Key. He's going to try to call his own number, and he is taken down immediately in the backfield. We'll actually call that a sack right there for Stamarian Edwards.
Edwards, one of the leading tacklers, the leading tackler on this Alcorn State ball club. And you see Key try to cut it back inside, and the old turf monster got it there at the midfield logo.
I'm pretty sure he'd rather hit the turf monster than have that big old boy hit him like that. I'm
You look at
100% sure.
ALCORN and what they've done this year against teams, just holding them, trying to keep them in these second and long situations.
Here's Key. He's going to sling it out to the far side, and the pass is caught. Looks like Daly
First down
with the pass, and he's got enough for Alabama State first down.
Again, a nice little comeback route that time. Driving the defender off. Once the defender turns his hip, you break off that route, come back to the football. Nice throw and catch.
Here's Kareem Key. Another play action. Can't find his first option, and then he's just going to throw it away. Second down now coming up for the Bama State Hornets.
Smart play by the young quarterback. Officials taking a look to see if he was outside.
Well, that didn't last long for Valley. Fairview is first and goal on Valley's 1 yard line.
It's funny too because like that's on the Alabama State side of the field, and Preston Clipper just threw the flag, so it may be intentional grounding, citing that he wasn't outside the tackle box, nor was a receiver in the area.
Intentional grounding. It's number 10. That's a left down penalty. Yeah.
I don't trust nothing.
So
Preston Clipper says.
This once again, here's Key in the backfield.
The tackle box is going to be that far left hash, and he's right on the hash, so he did not get outside of it, so that makes it intentional grounding.
Not sold in that direction either in the area he threw the ball. There were coaches closer to the ball than actual guys on the play.
Watch Mr. Clipper.
So loss of down.
I don't trust that man.
Third down. Coming up for Alabama State. Of course, Alabama State trailing Jackson State in the East Division by a game. Those two teams will meet in 2 weeks in Montgomery, Alabama. If Alabama State wins today and then wins next week, that could be a game for first place. Here's Key under pressure. He throws it, and the ball is loose, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by ALCORN State's Jahiel Anderson if they call it a fumble. And it looks like that's what they're going to do for right now, Ken.
Yeah, Key rolling to his right, got hit, the ball popped loose. Nolan Scott was right there to foul on it.
First down.
Here's a good look at it here. You see the pressure coming off the weak side, rolling to his right, and yes, the football goes backwards, so that will be a fumble.
Definitely a fumble.
Good pressure
Did he have
coming off the
possession?
edge that time.
Oh, was his foot out of bounds before he touched that ball?
Junior out of Jefferson Davis County High School in Prentice, Mississippi. So first big break of the ball game created by that ALCORN State defense.
And Cullen Scott.
Y'all see G on the sideline? I see him too. Wait, that number 9 ALCORN jersey. I see him.
Eventually, said, let me fall on it and let me give my team a great opportunity at field position. Now we got an official's timeout.
Plays under further review.
Like I told you, watch his foot. See if his foot was out of bounds before he touched that ball.
Or review. Preston Clipper already,
He's getting busy.
He is getting busy. He is getting busy. So look, while we take a look at, while they actually, try to take a look at what's going on.
That's the only question I have.
Around the Southwestern Athletic Conference
if that foot touched,
Southern University leads Alabama A&M
that out of bounds line.
Homecoming in Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson State leads 38-3 over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Bethune-Cookman leads Grambling in the fourth quarter, 24-21. Down in the Delta, Mississippi Valley and Prairie View are tied at 10 with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Florida A&M already up 21-0 on their homecoming game against Texas Southern. Of course, right here at the Port City Classic, we are scoreless. So
watch his foot. Watch his foot.
Here's what they're looking at, Ken.
I think they're trying to see if he was out of bounds before he recovered.
That foot, his right foot.
That is the point of contention.
It is close. They have to actually look at where he fully possessed the ball at.
See Cullen Scott bump it there.
Watch that right foot.
Watch the feet.
See?
The ball there. Does he have the ball before his feet hit the white?
They're going to get it to him.
review, the player that recovered the ball was out of bounds. Just making the ball out of bounds. Still Alabama State ball, third down.
I told you. His
They
foot. I told you.
overturned the fumble recovery, citing that
Wow.
Cullen Scott's feet were out of bounds, thus the ball being out of bounds. So Alabama State will get another opportunity to be on offense.
That's when you wear a size 15 and you wish it was a size 11.
Right. Exactly.
So bad break for ALCORN State, but looks like it was a good call by the replay crew, as his foot did appear to hit the white before he had complete control of the football. So Alabama State will reset.
Now, here's another thing, Ken, too. Clearly, that's a fast-moving play. He was on top of the ball, but he didn't fully possess the ball as he kept the drill to cover it up completely. And because he did not, and that's what allowed his feet to stretch out in that scenario. It's a tough break if you're Alcorn State, but a good break if you're Alabama State, who now faces 3rd and 25. Key is just going to hand it off right here, and picking up solid yardage on the play will be Daquan Kinsey. Kinsey will not get enough for a first down.
Yeah, just a simple draw play. You try to pick up as much yardage as you can here, knowing that you're not going to get the full 25 yards, not likely.
So 4th down coming up for the Alabama State Hornets in punt formation. Will be Harrison Tuck.
That's our first look at Kinsey today. He came into the ball game averaging nearly 6 yards per carry.
Daquan Kinsey, he's a Fort Atlanta transfer. And you talk about a guy who really just burst on the scene the first couple of weeks. He had a very, very monster run, looking like Derrick Henry against Miles College early on in the season, dragging defenders behind him. And he's just come on strong whenever Eddie Robinson and the staff needed him to do great things for the Hornets, especially with the multitude of quarterbacks they've had to play this year.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they played 5 quarterbacks so far this year, but it's also been running back by committee in the backfield. We've already seen 4 different ball carriers touch the rock here this evening.
Marion Blakes is back deep for Alcorn State, yelling, Peter, 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 get out the way. And it may have touched Alcorn State player. Let's see.
Oh, my goodness.
And yes, they're going to say Alabama State
goodness.
Ball.
Now, was the ball out of bounds on that one?
Alabama State ball following the ball being touched by an Alcorn State defender. Looks like the ball was touched by Alcorn's Jamar.
Watch the ball.
Cajo.
Yeah, he's just blocking there. Doesn't see the football. Now,
he was out of bounds.
Be out of bounds.
He's out of bounds.
The recovery here.
On the receiving team, it was recovered by the defense. First down.
He's out of bounds, man.
I was just about to ask that question now.
Yeah,
he's out of bounds.
It's going to be turnabout is fair play if the officials notice this.
What you mean notice?
Replay monitor. It looked
challenge.
Like
you got to throw a challenge flag or something.
Had one.
That man was out of bounds. His whole damn right side was out.
Let's see if they stop play and review this.
Yeah.
We're usually sitting in a booth like right next to the replay officials, but they're actually like further down in the press box. I can't really see what they're.
You better snap the ball.
But clearly a conversation is going on between the head officials here in the box and also the ones on the field.
Yeah, he was out of bounds, man.
They may be getting a buzz down to look at this. Yep.
See his right elbow, his right arm, his whole his elbow touch.
First period.
Man, third replay review in less than 5 minutes.
He was out of bounds, man.
So replay crew really getting their works as well. Let's show you what they're looking at.
Yeah, you'll see Jamar Cajo Jr. The ball touches his leg clearly. Now, does the
See?
the right arm is out of bounds.
Right arm out of bounds.
Has the football. So this will go back over to ALCORN at that spot.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a huge break for the Braves, avoiding disaster.
And if that recovery would stand, it would have stand. We've seen Alabama State with the best field position of the day, even though they have been inside the red zone once before this afternoon. So, but unfortunate situation if you're Cajo, because clearly you're always taught Peter. Listen for people saying Peter.
And Amari Blakes, that's the punt returner. You can see him.
You can see him
motioning
saying,
for everyone.
Get away.
But his focus was on the person that he was blocking. So, but he avoids disaster.
The ball receiving team turned by the kicking team. First down.
All right, so even though Mr. Clippers Mike went out for just a few moments, literally it's the same thing that Kim was just explaining to us. The same situation we saw just a few plays earlier. The guy that recovered the ball, his body parts were out of bounds before he fully recovered it. Due to that situation, ALCORN State will have the ball first down at 10, ball resting inside their 15-yard line.
Well, it's over with for Valley.
Vaughn can get his offense going.
3 minutes left. Fairview 17, Valley 10. Wow.
First down and 10 for ALCORN State. Vaughn in the shotgun. Under pressure, and it's going to take off. Oh, it's going to be very, very close right there. And actually, it's not Vaughn. This is actually Trey Lawrence now in at quarterback.
Ooh.
Coach
that wasn't intentional, but that's targeted.
Earlier in the week with Charles Edmond that if he threw
that was not intentional.
Don't be surprised.
Trey Lawrence getting an early opportunity here. But guess what? One more review.
So here's what's, it would be a targeting, personal foul with targeting is the rule on the field. So now they're going to review this to see. Looks like Cunningham may have been the culprit. Let's take a look at it once again.
Yeah, you see Trey coming up here, goes into his slide. The hit is coming in simultaneously at the same time that he went into his slide.
Can't touch that head. You wear around that neck area. Neck it up. Nope. That's a 15-yarder, but he shouldn't be ejected.
With the head and neck area, and it doesn't have to be with the crown of your helmet from the defender. It can be
I think everybody wanted Valley to win.
That goes to the head.
They got 3 minutes left, but
of the defensive player.
Here's the breakdown of the targeting rule. Of course, dangerous hit involving launch, upward thrust, or severe strike. Of course, a 15-yard penalty and a disqualification with either forcible contact to head and neck of the defensive opponent or any forcible hit by the crown of the helmet.
The key there is either or, not both.
And if Cunningham is ruled for targeting, he will have to sit out the remaining portion of this entire game.
Yeah, and that's huge because he is one of.
I just don't think it was intentional.
Thomas, he is one of the big hitters on that defense for Alabama State. Here's a call.
Oh,
and he has been ejected from the ball game. Wow, that is a big loss.
Big loss.
Coach Eddie Robertson Jr.
He has been disqualified from the game, so he will have to sit out the remaining portion of this contest. He can return next week. But DeMarcus Cunningham, who is one of the leading tacklers on the team, as a matter of fact, he is the leading tackler on the team with 57 total tackles on the season. He is done for the day. Big loss for the Alabama State Black Swarm defense. Your leading tackle is officially out of the game.
Wow.
We'll see who have to pick up the slack for Alabama State on the defensive side of the ball. While Trey Lawrence still in at quarterback for Alcorn State. We pull up his numbers on the year. He's only attempted 6 passes so far this season.
So Lawrence is going to hand it off to Sewell, and Sewell is
Run.
going to pick up positive yardage.
6 yards.
Second down and short.
Good run by Sewell there off the right side.
Valley losing. They got 3 minutes left. 17-10.
5.5 yards per carry.
Sewell puts his head down, thrusts his body forward, and looks like he's going to be close to that first down mark, and that will probably be
2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Valley is 2nd and 1 on their own 44-yard line.
And that'll do it. All right. We played one here in Mobile. We'll be back with second quarter action.
All right. It's starting to heat up between Grambling and Bethune also. With 4 minutes and 57 seconds left, Bethune-Cookman has the ball on their own 31. Grambling trails 21-24. Mississippi Valley has the ball 2nd and 1 on their own 44. They trail 17-10 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So those two games are actually heating up. Texas Southern laid an egg right now. 32 seconds left in the second quarter. Then Texas Southern 0, FAMU 21. And Jackson State is 38-31. I mean 38-3. My bad. I said 38-31. 38-3. And the game we're watching is 0-0. Grambling quarterback Crowley's not playing. That's Mr. Bailey. He's 17 of 27 for 202 yards with an interception. The rushing leader is Palmer for Bethune-Cookman. 19 carries, 86 yards and a touchdown. Wide receiver for Grambling, Richardson, 7 receptions and 91 yards. Valley, their quarterback is 15 for 23, 263 yards and a touchdown. Perryview, this is where Perryview killing them at. McDowell is 28 carries for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's pretty much about it until they update. But what do y'all think about HBCU Go taking over the SWAC games? Even though HBCU Go only has 2 channels that they operate on. They operate on the Grio and the HBCU Go app. So you might have to start. Like I said, I don't know the whole story. They was just talking about it. I know there's going to be a negotiation at the end of 2025. I think ESPN Plus needs to do better if they're going to live stream these games. But you can watch more than one game on ESPN Plus.
And welcome back to the 2024 Port City Classic here in Mobile. Second down for the Alcorn State Braves. And there's a completed pass right there to the far side by backup quarterback Trey Lawrence. He'll swing it over and is connected with Damian Jones. Those chains are going to move once again for the Braves.
Yeah, Damian Jones, he's been a very good receiver so far this year for Alcorn State.
No, I don't believe that was targeted.
Running a little tempo, and the ball is thrown deep, and it's intercepted by Alabama State. Coming up with the INT for the Hornets is James Burgess Jr. Black Swarm defense coming through in the clutch for Eddie Robinson Jr. and company.
But that was great one-on-one coverage down the sideline. Trey Lawrence just taking a shot, trying to give his receiver an opportunity to win one-on-one.
How many yards
but Burgess runs the route
for
the receiver.
Let me check.
And just a great interception that time for Alabama State. Bad news is they'll take over inside or right at their own 5-yard line. But
Herb Mulligan has 19 carries, 141 yards.
The Swarm is one secondary.
And, of course,
and a
Alabama
touchdown.
State, they actually struggled with getting turnovers earlier in the season. So clearly they eventually, started getting some and make some things happen there. So
yeah, Herb, 19 carries, 141 yards and a touchdown.
5-yard line. Kareem Key gets the snap. He'll hand it off, and running away from defenders for Alabama State right there is Harris, and he's going to have a first down for ASU.
Marcus Harris, the second, 5'9", redshirt sophomore. See just a little inside trap over that right side, open up a nice running lane, running downhill, getting those shoulders square, picking up a nice 13-yard gain.
Here's Kareem Key. Calling the cadence once again, hands over to Harris. Harris runs over a man and picks up about 5 yards on the play. Holding on for dear life for ALCORN State was Wallace Melton. Let's take another look at that, kid.
Yeah, Harris again, you see.
Whoa, stop the presses. Valley just scored. Valley just scored. 17-16. Valley just scored against Prairie View.
That big kid, you want to get low down around the ankles.
Second down, we'll call it 3-4 Bama State. And Bama State's going to go with the rushing attack once again, and nothing doing.
Is Valley going to go for 2?
Running away for ALCORN State will be Jaleel Anderson coming up with the tackle for a loss.
Great job by Anderson that time, winning at the point of attack, slowing down that running game now for Alabama State. A big third down here, deep in their own end. So far this afternoon, the Hornets only 2 of 5 on third down.
So Alabama State first going with 3rd and 5, and they're going to hand it off once again up the gut. Surprise call right here, but Harris does not get any yardage on the play, so they'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation for the Hornets.
They tried to go with that trap play once again, had the tackle pulling, coming down on a down block, but no can do it. This ALCORN defense doing a really good job here so far in this first half. Alabama State, 14 carries, only 27 yards. So ALCORN State, they've done a good job. They brought safety down in the box. They've gone from a 2 high to a 1 high, and they've done a good job. Here comes a possible fake.
And instead, it's going to be that soccer-style punt for Alabama State, and it's going to take a great roll and recover by Alabama State, but nothing doing for the Braves on that play as Amarian Blakes goes nowhere. We'll be right back. More Swac football here in Mobile.
All right, let's update the scores. Tell you this is the last month. Somebody about to mess up the church's money. Bethune-Cookman, 2nd and 10 at Gramblin's 23-yard line with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. Grambling trails Bethune-Cookman by 3. 21-24 is the score. It must be a timeout at Valley and Prairie View. Now, they got a penalty. It's 1st and 10 at Prairie View 13. The score is still 17-16, so they might have to kick the field goal now. And where's the Southern game at? Southern 19, Alabama A&M 13. With 13 minutes and 27 seconds left, it's 2nd and 8. Southern has the ball at their own 27-yard line. So it's actually heating up. This last month of the Swac is getting real tricky. I know Southern is. This is from last week to this week. Coach Maynard, you may not make it to the end of the season. You lose this one, buddy. At home, Southern put up 10 points in the 3rd quarter. So, hey, but still got a lot of football left in that game. Jackson State, it's a clinic over there. Morgan is 14 of 22, 187 yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. Mulligan for Jackson State, 19 carries, 141 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dupree, wide receiver from Jackson State, 3 receptions, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I'm still waiting on this update from the Valley game. It's still saying 1st and 10 at Perry 13-yard line.
City Classic. Now, your Swac news and notes, which are brought to you by GM. Offensive Player of the Week, Jamari Gasson, and what a show he put on last week against Southern University.
Yeah, 5 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Co-defensive players of the week, Javius Williams of Texas Southern.
FAMU is beating Texas Southern 21-0.
Then the specialist of the week, Geraldo Beza, 3 on field goals.
And newcomer of the week,
James, it's not even close.
1 carry, 76 yards, 2 receptions, 139 yards, and a slew of touchdowns. So here's Alcorn State slinging it out right there. Once again will be Lawrence, who continues to be in at quarterback. Of course, starting the game was Xavier Vaughn, but clearly right now we're seeing Lawrence, getting his reps as well in the next man up category. Here's Lawrence stepping back to pass. Under a little pressure, gets away.
Run it.
Gets out of the pocket. He's going to try to take off, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. 3rd down now coming up for the Alcorn State Braves. He was knocked out of bounds on that play by Deshaun Jackson.
And, of course, this is an Alcorn team that struggled, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago in the second half against Southern. Coaching staff told us this week they thought for a moment about pulling Xavier Vaughn in that ball game, but they decided to ride it out. Let him see if he could work through his struggles. Now here in the first half today, they've decided to go with Lawrence, at least as a change of pace.
Trey Lawrence, Jr. from out of Jacksonville, Florida. Probably got some family members that came along the I-10 corridor to come see him play today.
Oh, no doubt. This may be a delay of game unless they got a timeout.
Alcorn.
So when you change quarterbacks, sometimes there could be some trouble getting the plays in. You're trying to change the play at the line of scrimmage, communication issues, all those different things tend to happen when you change quarterbacks in the middle of the game. And as I mentioned, that was something that they were trying to avoid last week.
We'll take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
All right, the update on the Valley game. 17-16, last play says fumble recovered by PV James Kate III. Wow. So Valley fumbled, they messed up the bag, man. Damn, they fumbled that one away. Poor Valley. Win one soon. Damn. Alabama A&M has the football with 11 minutes and 18 seconds left. They're on their own 29. They trail Southern by 6, 19-13. Pine Bluff is about to get, Jackson State look like they're going for a field goal. It's 4th and 19 on the UAPB 30. Score is 38-3. UAPB offense got shut down after that first scoring drive, and that was it. Jackson State just hit a field goal. It's 4-1-3. Ouch. Grambling, they have the football. 1st and 10 at their 21. They trail by 3 with 1 minute and 42 seconds left. So Grambling does have the ball, but they're trailing by 3. It's 2nd and 8 for Perryview at their own 44 with 1 minute and 40 left. And the game watching. Texas Southern is still in halftime. Is trailing 0-21. So FAMU is not playing. Richardson, he's up to his stuff again. He's 15 for 20, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Game back on.
Scoreless. And let's take a look at the back quarterback, Trey Lawrence, getting a lot of action today. Like I mentioned, young man coming from Jacksonville, Florida, and getting a significant amount of time so far, Ken.
Yeah, they're looking for a spark offensively. See if they can get this offense rejuvenated.
And here's Lawrence. He's going to take a deep shot. He's got a man.
Oh!
It is caught by Alcorn State's Tyron Warren. Huge catch down the field.
Huge
they are
catch.
deep inside of Alabama State territory.
Well, Tyron Warren, he's one of the big play receivers for this Brave offense, averaging 33 yards per reception on
He
the
was
season.
wide open.
You see him beat one-on-one coverage there.
He wants some
Lawrence
more.
is going to throw it right across the middle. It's caught, but nothing doing on the play. As Sewell picks up a catch for about 4 yards on the play, second down coming up.
But Darren, you're correct.
Take a look
They missed the extra point. They recovered the onside kick, but then they fumbled.
Keen Lewis.
That's how Perryview got the ball back. Valley fumbled.
Lewis is one of the fastest players on Alabama State's defense in general. And under pressure right there, and down goes Lawrence on that play, leading the way, Rico Dozier. And I also want to show some love to Rody Jean Louis.
Oh, yeah. He got in there as well. You see the double inside blitz. Double A-gap blitz, and they come in and they just gobble up the young quarterback for a big-time loss. And that's going to be 3rd and long here for Alcorn. Braves so far this afternoon, 2 of 4 on 3rd down.
It's like the edge rushers just went upfield and said, let's meet at the quarterback, and they did. All right, here's Sewell. And running over a couple of men and
a referee. Run them all over. Everybody gets some.
Gets a first down for Alcorn State. So all 3 phases of the game happening right there with Alcorn, Alabama State, and the officials. Here's Lawrence going to call his own number, taking off, and he'll pick up about 3 yards on the play.
Alcorn State on that previous 3rd down and long, they caught Alabama State in a safety blitz situation, and right now there's a shaking up Alabama State Hornet on the field.
Holding his knee, upper leg area. I never like to guess on injuries because
MCL.
How they're feeling down there.
I think that joke a calf muscle is.
Here's the other thing too, man. It's warm out there. You actually could still be catching cramps in the month of November, which is crazy to think.
85 degrees at kickoff here this afternoon. And of course, Alabama State, they're on the
Grambling, 4th and 10,
sitting directly
at their own 21-yard line with a minute and 37 seconds left.
Yeah, very toasty afternoon for the first weekend in November. And of course, it's daylight savings time tonight as well. So for all of you, make sure you set your
final
fall back.
Fairview 17,
not fall forward.
Grambling 16.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Damn. If you didn't hear that, that's Fairview 17, Valley 16. Valley can't catch a break, boy. Grambling, they went from 4th and 10. Now they 3rd and 20 at their own 26. My goodness. Jackson State has beat the brakes off Pine Bluff. It is 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Everybody gonna get to play. The water boy and everybody, the trainers, everybody about to play in Jackson. Southern, Alabama A&M with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Southern has the ball 3rd and 1 at their own 23-yard line. That clock starting to eat up on Alabama A&M. Coach Maynard, you better do something. You're going to be sitting on the couch with me watching the Swac championship game. Jackson State has the ball again. So, hey, man, good luck, man. It's still halftime at Texas Southern and FAMU. And Alcorn, this is just a real defensive game. A real defensive game. 1 or 2 good offensive plays, then the rest just defense. So this last month, it's about to get, you got like Pine Bluff, they got actually one of Jackson State linemen kicked out of the game. And I don't know if he has to sit out the first half of the next game, but he was ejected. And I think it was either the left tackle or the left guard. And some of them teams, man, you can't get that to them. You just can't get that to him.
State being helped off the field. He's got a leg injury. Everyone on their knee praying for him. You want to wish that young man the best. He's been a solid performer on this Black Swarm defense, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that you do see him walking, putting pressure on that left leg. Junior
that man knee messed up.
One of the leaders of this Swarm is one defense, so we definitely want to send well wishes to him as he goes under.
The sun started sitting down now.
Second down coming up for the Alcorn State Braves. Lawrence still in at quarterback. He's got all sorts of time, and he just misses his man on that play coming across the middle. The tender wide receiver on that one was Damian Jones.
Yeah, Damian Jones, he's kind of one of those sneaky, fast receivers. 18 receptions on the year, 198 yards and a touchdown. They try to get the ball into his hands in open space. Came in on that crossing route, passed just a little too far in front.
Third down, we'll call it 7. Alcorn State with 2 wide receivers and a tight end to the top side, and the handoff is going to go to Sewell. Sewell tries to get through a couple of tacklers, picks up maybe 2 yards on the play. Fourth down coming up from the Alabama State 25. And Ken, do you feel like this is 4-down territory for Alcorn?
I think so. It depends on what you get here on third down. If you pick up at least half where you can make it 4th and 2, 4th and 3, then you have an opportunity.
Well, it's actually 4th and 5 now.
Well,
so.
yeah.
And the field goal unit is not coming on the field. Instead, Lawrence takes the snap. He's under pressure, and it'll be intercepted by Alabama State. And out in front of the back, Alabama State.
That's 6.
King Lewis, and Lewis is going to take it all the way back.
That's
a pick 6 for the Hornets. Touchdown, Bama State.
Uh-oh. I told y'all that Alabama State defense is stingy and nasty. Stingy and nasty.
But wait, there's a flag on the play, Ken.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, come on, man. If they call that block,
would be his second interception.
Look who the referee is. That's all I can say.
4th down pass from Lawrence under heavy pressure. Now
look who the referee is.
Just the play, touchdown. Sideline warning. Corp. That's just warning. Touchdown is good.
What?
So that is a pick 6 for the Black Swarm defense. Lewis taking it all the way back to the house. Lucky recipient of a pick 6 on the play as we take a look at it again, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Traquan Thomas coming with the heat right up the middle, putting the pressure on. And then Lewis with the interception. And he's just going to outrun the Jaquan Swirl all the way down the sideline. You see a little block there at the end to make sure he gets into the end zone. So a great defensive play started by Traquan Thomas, finished off by Lewis in the big return, and Alabama State defense puts the first points of the ball game on the board.
Defense coming through with the pick 6. Alabama State's extra point was
now I would kick the field goal
on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
And it's going to be roughing the kicker on the play. So, of course, that penalty will be administered on the kickoff.
Extra point is good. Personal foul, roughing the kick. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kick.
So, Alabama State on top, 7-0. Offenses really haven't found a way to get in the end zone, but those defenses will definitely find a way when it takes too long.
Well, if you're Alabama State, you look, if the offense can't do it, we'll do it for you. And Keon Lewis with a huge return, his second interception of the year, and the 11th of the season for that Alabama State defense as they strike first in the Port City Classic.
As you listen to the mighty marching Hornets, making the trip down I-65 here to the Port City. A lot of Hornet fans were in Birmingham last week for the Magic City Classic, as Alabama State scored a victory over arch rival Alabama A&M. 69,000 on hand to check that out. And that's not even including the ones that were in the tailgate area.
That was something to see. I had a chance to view that one from afar, but quite the scene, quite the setting. And we talked about how would Alabama State come into this ball game off of that huge momentum win last week. We've seen their defense show up here today. See if their offense can do the same.
Absolutely, and that kick will go out of bounds thanks to it taking place at the 50-yard line. Alcorn State will get it following a touchback. So if you're Alcorn State now, we'll see if Lawrence will trot back out and at quarterback, or will they bring Bowen back? Wherever they come back out with, clearly you've got to find a way to bounce back now that you know that what this defense is capable of doing that you're going up against.
Well, it's been similar production for both guys. Identical stats. Both quarterbacks 3 for 5, 1 interception. Each quarterback has been sacked once here this afternoon.
So Lawrence will hand it back off to Sewell, and Sewell gets ahead of steam, and he moves the ball well down the field, picks up about plate, second down coming up for Alcorn State. They're going to run a little.
Bethune-Cookman has defeated Grambling. I say again, Bethune-Cookman has defeated Grambling. 21-24.
Sewell's going to bounce it outside. He's got the first down, and he'll be knocked.
Wow, Grambling.
His own 40-yard. Actually, correct that. That is giving Sewell a break on that.
It's tied up at Southern. Southern Alabama A&M is 19-19.
Run game now. This is a Alcorn State team. They average 190 yards per game.
Now it's extra point time
so far this season.
First charge to the half.
And Alcorn State will take a timeout. Their first of them.
So far this afternoon, this Alabama State defense has held the Braves to 27 yards on the ground. 44 yards on the ground, excuse me, after those last 2 runs by Rogers. But they're going to have to lean heavily on that run game. This offensive line, they're going to have to win at the point of attack, open up some running. Sewell, try to get him in the open space. We haven't seen much of Truck Robinson, number 2, the big tight end. Sometimes they'll line him up at tailback in short yardage situations. So they're going to have to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers and see if they can try to win this football game for them.
Alabama State, founded in the year 1867, currently located in Montgomery, Alabama. Dr. Quentin T. Ross is the president. And I've said this multiple times as Lawrence goes down. I think Alabama State is in a unique situation because they have to be one of the few universities that has their president and their head football coach who are both alums of the university.
Well, that's something right there, because you know that they're heavily invested in that program and in those kids emotionally, you know, as well as professionally.
Here's a handoff for Alcorn State, maybe a gain of a yard and a half. That Black Swarm defense really not giving up anything easy. Third down now coming up for the Alcorn State Braves. On that last run was Rogers, as you see him running out to the sideline.
That's what we talked about in the opening.
Yes.
They have to be physical.
Alabama A&M just took the lead.
Around for Alabama State. You just have to be sound in your gap.
Grambling just got beat by Bethune-Cookman.
Stepping back, throws it, and the ball is incomplete. In defense right there for Alabama State. Twilly Levette knocking it away. Fourth down coming up.
Perfect coverage by Levette. Coming up from the backside, getting there.
Coach Maynard trying to save his job over there at Alabama A&M.
With the receiver, knocking it away at the point of attack. And you see Lawrence and Vaughn continuing to talk on the sideline, trying to figure things out. And you love to see those two guys communicating, supporting one another, even though they're in competition, because both of them want to be on the field, but only one can be out there at a time.
Robert McMinn back deep for Alabama State, and the play clock hits double zeros.
Delay game, offense. Penalty, still fourth down.
So Alcorn State will be pushed back an additional 5 yards. Robert McMinn is
If you're just coming in, please hit the like button,
closer because he understands how big
subscribe,
of a foot
and share
that Alcorn State's punter has. Here's the kick. McMinn yelling, Peter, 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 get away. Ball initially touched by Alcorn State. Alabama State's going to have it somewhere around the 31, 32-yard line with about 5.5 minutes to go. And there you see the Hornets coming back onto the field, led by Kareem Key. Now, Ken, coming up at halftime, you know, it's showtime here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We will hear from the Sounds of Dynamite marching band, which represents Alcorn State, and the Alabama State Mighty Marching Hornets.
Can't wait for that. This should be one heck of a halftime show here this afternoon between those two great bands here at the Port City Classic. And the fans will be sticking around for that. So we invite you to stick around for the halftime show as well.
First down for Alabama State. Kareem Key hands it off. And with a crease and a gap right there is Alabama State's Jabari Kankendo.
There you see the pulling guard that time, just a kick out block. Great block that time. Big number 76 opening up that running lane. Jamar Wynn, the freshman, with the great block. Huge yardage for Alabama State.
Second down coming up for the Alabama State Hornets. Here's Kareem Key to play action pass. He's going to throw it deep, and he had a man, but overthrows his man on the play. That was McMinn.
He was wide open.
Pressure, though, you got to credit it for Alcorn State.
Well, that's the game plan there. You hit him with the nice running play on first down, come right back with the play action, try to go over the top, had a receiver open, just a little too much on that pass by Key.
And now that I think about it, I do not think I told the fans at home how long that pick six was. 91 yards on the pick six for Alabama State. Second down and 10 coming up for Kareem Key. Key's going to hand it off, and swallowed up quickly is the Alabama State running back. That is once again Kakendo, and he is taken down by Stamarian Edwards of Alcorn State. Third down and 10 coming up for Eddie Robinson and his crew.
Yeah, Edwards came into this ball game leading the Braves in tackles with 61 on the season. Second in TFLs with 8.
Third down and 10, under 5 minutes to go here in the city of Mobile in the first half. Here's Key. He mishandled the snap, and now he's just going to just fall forward, cut his losses, and bring
got a chance, Alcorn. 4-minute offense.
Smart play by the young quarterback. You don't want to.
Well, by the time you get the ball, it'll be about 3 minutes.
A bigger mistake. Just corral the football, fall on it. You have a 7-zip lead. No reason to take an unnecessary risk there. So Alabama State, they'll come out, try to punt this football away, and again try to force Alcorn State into poor field position. The Braves this afternoon, their best field position has been their own 25-yard line. They've started drives for their own 12, 21, 14, and 16-yard line.
They bring a little pressure. Ball is cleanly off the way. A lot of contact going on down the field, and ball goes out. But wait, we've got out of the end zone. But wait, we've got a flag on the play. So let's see what our good friend Mr. Preston Clipper has to say.
Getting a lot of TV time.
He is getting a lot of TV time today.
Y'all keep Clifford. Oof. So it's holding on Alcorn.
Holding on the return team.
Half the distance to the goal.
Since the ball was a touchback, I'm pretty sure it's probably half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, it should go back to the 10-yard line here.
So another long drive.
So another long drive for Alcorn State.
And let's face it, Alabama State's defense, it's hard to move the ball in long distance.
Oh, this y'all fifth string quarterback? I thought it was the
difficult
fourth.
to put together, 8
But
to
that's
10
even
play
crazy. If that's the fifth. That's
against
crazy
this
work. That's the fifth
Alabama
string.
State
I thought it was the fourth.
Trying to get the explosive plays, which ALCORN has been pretty good at so far this season. Xavier Vaughn will come back into the ball game here with 3:20 to go.
3-minute offense.
A little bit more experience to try to operate this 2-minute drill, if you will.
And Alcorn State's going to have 5 wide receivers. And here is a wide receiver handoff on the reverse. And picking up solid yardage for Alcorn State is going to be Anthony Williams on the play.
Anthony Williams, this is a young man, as we mentioned, they try to get him involved. He has tremendous speed, averaging only 4 yards per carry so far this season. But if he gets into the open field, good luck catching.
Here's Vaughn. He's going to take off and lose a defender. Can't get by the next 2 defenders. He's going to slide down to bring up 3rd down. We'll call it about 3.
And the coach has said about Vaughn is that he just has to calm down. Sometimes he gets a little too excited. You see him trying to escape the rush over to the left side and just kind of
all right, it's 1st and 10.
Cut it back inside.
Southern has the ball at their own 46-yard line. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left.
That one don't get you the right one will.
Absolutely. He's a handoff once again to Griffin, and he's going to pick up enough yardage for a 1st down and move those chains.
All right.
Thought we were going to see an appearance from Preston Clipper again, but he was just making sure everybody got the chains moved.
Yeah, just a little jet sweep that time to Griffin.
Here's Vaughn. Stepping back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket, and he breaks the tackle, and he'll be knocked out of bounds after picking up about 5 yards on the play. Making the tackle on Vaughn right there will be Roddy Jean-Louis. And now we've officially made it to 2 minutes, so let's take that 2-minute timeout for Swac football when we return.
At Harbor Freight, we do business differently from the other guys. We design it.
All right, catching up on the scores. Southern is moving the ball. They got 3 minutes and 35 seconds left. Arkansas Pine Bluff with a minute left. 3rd and 13 at Jackson State 23. It's a wrap. The Pine Bluff offense, after one drive, they were shut down. So this is the 3rd game in a row that Jackson State held their opponents scoreless in the second half. Repeat again, the 3rd game in a row, Jackson State has held their opponents to 0 points in the second half. And in this case, it was no touchdown scored by Pine Bluff at all. It was just 1 field goal. Texas Southern has actually scored. The score is 7-28. Texas Southern has the ball again. It's 2nd and 5 at the FAMU 20-yard line. So Texas Southern is getting ready to it is in the red zone. The game we watching 7-0. Grambling, I have no idea. Grambling started the season off at 3-1. Now they are 4-5, and they are 1-4 in the Swac. You lost to Bethune-Cookman. You might want to check yourself. Wow. And Deer Oak Valley, I think me and my 2 Huskies, I don't know if y'all can beat us. 17-16. I have no idea what they're going to do with Valley. So it's heating up. Now, all Grambling can do now is play spoiler. They're done. It's over. Southern is still moving the ball, but you got that much time left. Pine Bluff turned the ball over. Jackson State, go ahead and take a knee. 34 seconds left. So.
The half. We've got halftime band performances. We've got the sounds of Dynamite of Alcorn State and the Mighty Marching Hornets of Alabama State, and that's brought to you by Pepsi. Of course, they say halftime is showtime. Back to the action on the field. Here's Vaughn calling his own number. He's going to slide quick, fast, in a hurry as he saw Rico Dozier making up ground for him. And Vaughn will be a few yards short of the first down mark.
Yeah, big third down here coming up for ALCORN, trying to see if they can get some points before halftime.
Xavier Vaughn throwing it across the middle, and the pass is caught by his tight end, Caleb Anderson.
You got plenty of time, man.
To help them move those chains. First down, ALCORN State.
Caleb Anderson back up to Truck Griffin getting a little action here in the 2-minute drill.
Here's Vaughn, another completed pass. This time into the hands of
Gotta move the clock. Tick, 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 tick.
Short little hook routes, 5 yards, go down, turn around.
It's working for ALCORN State thus far. Now, he's going to swing it out, and his running back has lots of space, breaks the tackle, and knocked out of bounds.
Good play.
That'll be Sewell, Jacorian Sewell, picking up another first down for ALCORN State. And they're
good play.
Looking like they've got some offensive rhythm.
What you call a timeout for?
Then we have an Alabama State Hornet that goes down.
Oh, okay.
On the field for an player.
He cramping. That's a cramp, homie.
But you see Vaughn getting into a little bit of rhythm. Had those 2 hook patterns.
Oh, it's a fake cramp
on the left and right side. They took away the hook on the third try, and then he had the flare out to the tail.
Oh yeah, that's a fake cramp. Yeah, yeah, that's a fake.
He was able to get a good game down inside of ALCORN.
That's fake, brother.
Alabama State territory.
The injured player was Elijah Elmore.
Ain't nothing wrong with him.
311-pound defensive tackle from Wetumpka, Alabama, just north of Montgomery.
What the wrong with him?
He was able to get back up and walking.
Yeah.
He'll just be out for a few plays. Officially have 1 minute to go before the half.
ALCORN State still has 1 timeout.
Vaughn under pressure, and he's just got to throw it away. He throws it out of bounds in the direction of his wide receiver, Anthony Williams. But wait, we've got a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be offside. I think the defensive end got into the neutral zone.
$55 seconds left.
Only the 3rd penalty against Alabama State.
And offsides is the call.
Left side of the screen, you see coming in off the blitz. Just got into the neutral zone. That was Jackson.
So Jackson with the offside penalty, giving ALCORN 1st and 5. Now here's the wide receiver screen goes off the hands of the wide out Tyron Warren, who had the long completion earlier in the quarter.
Nothing but green grass in front of him, Mo, if he catches that football.
That's a touchdown. He catches that.
Penalty mark on the play. So Preston Clipper getting ready to make another appearance here on ESPN.
This may be offensive pass interference, maybe an illegal pick.
Rub routes.
Yes.
Whatever, man.
So I think if we're reading lips, he said no foul on the play.
Hell, he don't know.
2nd down.
Like,
man. You read that better than me.
I'm guessing.
Man, Clipper don't know what they hear. Oof.
2nd down. We'll call it 5 for ALCORN State. 49 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's the handoff up the middle. This is Rogers, and Rogers.
Oh, timeout.
First down yardage right here to move those chains once again for the Braves.
Brandon Rogers, 5'8", 175 junior out of Arlington.
Telling you, man.
And here comes that tempo once again, and busting into the Alabama State defense is Rogers. Once again, tackle on that play by Maurice Lapierre. And Alabama State is going to call a timeout.
Alabama State, 30-second timeout.
Should have faked another cramp.
Now, of course, Alabama State is playing without a pair of stalwarts on their side of the ball. Of course, Cunningham was disqualified earlier for targeting, and then we saw Young Rowe leave the game with an apparent leg injury.
Got two big losses. You see the impact that they have on this defense, and you see Alcorn State matriculating down the field now without those two guys on the other side of the ball for the Hornets. Alcorn trying to get some points here, 28 seconds before halftime.
So here come the Braves. Vaughn going to hand it off and busted
Oh,
in the
wow.
backfield. Appears to be Sewell, and he'll have enough for a first down.
Timeout. And Bama.
And just running inside tackles, inside zone.
20 seconds to go. Here's Alcorn. Right up the gut, and there's a fumble on the play.
Oh, he fumbled the ball.
7 seconds.
Both teams saying they've got the ball.
I think the Braves have recovered it.
Yep, coming out of the scrum for Alcorn State. Jackson Pickett, one of the offensive linemen.
Something to play. The ball was recovered by Alcorn. Second down, timeout, Alcorn.
Looked like Scarborough.
Oh, the ball was out.
That ball out.
30 seconds to like.
Oh, look how big number 74 is.
Uses his body like box out the defender to get.
Man, you can't get the ball with that big old boy.
I know Jackson's saying,
That's
like,
a
man,
big
what is
man.
pushing me away from this play?
6'4", 300 pounds of all beef right there. Sat on that football. Jackson Pickett, the freshman out of Tucker High School in Decatur, Georgia.
Man,
used that big rear end to his advantage that time.
Absolutely. I know our friend Santoria likes to call them the buffet busters. I call them the eat first guys. No explanation needed. So here's Xavier Vaughn. He's got 7 seconds to go.
7 seconds.
Alcorn State has no timeouts left.
You got to watch these Swac officials.
Now Alabama State is going to call a timeout.
So if you're Alcorn State, do you continue to pound it inside? Do you put Vaughn in an RPO situation where he has the option of running, handing off, or passing the football? Coach Thomas trying to get his entire offensive unit over to discuss.
He's like, guys, come here. I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you.
They all confused over there.
Timeout.
So here we go. Alcorn State, no timeouts.
Okay, they got the big truck package in. Truck Griffin in the backfield behind the two 300-pounders.
Here's the handoff to Griffin. Griffin up the middle, and
Touchdown.
Griffin gets in for a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Alcorn State.
They ran it down Alabama State throat. 3-minute offense.
And you talk about a swing of momentum that will help the Braves go into the locker room.
Wow.
That play right there, because if he gets stopped, Ken, clock runs out and Alcorn is trailing at the half instead of having an opportunity to tie going into the locker room.
Well, that is their signature goal line play. I call it the jumbo truck package. The two 300-pounders, you see helmet flying off, but big truck Griffin is a tight end that goes into the goal line formation as a tailback. His fourth touchdown of the season on the ground. And Alcorn State with a huge drive at the end of the half to try to tie this ball game up.
Here's the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good, and we are tied once again as the cannon goes off in the same end zone.
Wow.
Griffin, the guy who basically just helped Alcorn
Alabama State, those two players that are out, that might make the difference. Who knows? Who
What a
knows?
drive by the Braves.
That was an impressive drive. You got to get Alcorn. That was impressive.
Seconds off the clock.
And you challenged Alcorn, saying that, hey, you got to find a way to score off a long drive, and they definitely did.
They did that.
Of tempo and being physical throughout that as well.
They had to lean on that offensive line. They brought Xavier Vaughn back into the ball game, experienced quarterback to lead this 2-minute drill. Had a couple of short passing plays. Offensive line started to move some people. And, of course, we mentioned the losses of Cunningham him and Young roll on that defense for Alabama State. So now they're having to dig deep into their game.
So Alcorn State will kick it off. With 3 seconds to go. And Ken, now we're officially at a point where we have more points than reviews.
Well, if we get to 14 reviews today, that's going to be a problem.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, the Swac officiating crew is definitely on their toes today. Here's a short kick. It's fielded by the Hornets. And going down will be A.J. Harrell. And that will do it for the first half. Alabama State 7, Alcorn State 7. We'll be back with more of the Port City.
All right, if they show the halftime, I would definitely show halftime. With 1 minute and 12 seconds left, Alabama A&M has the ball, 3rd and 17 at their own 18-yard line. They are trailing Southern 25-20. Texas Southern in the third quarter, 21. FAMU 35. Wow. Texas Southern is put up 21 points in the third quarter. FAMU has put up 14 points. It's like it's going to be a shootout. Jackson State 41, Pine Bluff 3. That wasn't even close. Grambling, yes, this is an upset. Bethune-Cookman moves to 2-7, 2-3 in the SWAC. Grambling falls to 4-5, 1-4 in the SWAC. Prairie View defeats Mississippi Valley. Prairie View is 4-5, overall 2-3 in the SWAC, and Valley is 0-0 and nothing, 0-0 and nothing. So this is somebody got to check Grambling. I'm trying to see if the Alabama State game is on ESPN Plus. I mean, not Alabama State, the Alabama A&M and Southern game. If it's on there, I'm going to switch over. Let me look. No, I don't see that game. Must not be on ESPN Plus. No, it's not on that. Because if it was on there, I'd switch over. It must be on SWAC Digital Network.
And let the magic begin at Walt Disney World Resort.
Can you believe this, man?
Everyone's getting that new Simply Safe outdoor monitoring. Now they can help prevent crime before it even happens.
How do we compete with AI-powered outdoor cameras that alert live agents of an intruder?
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Whoa! I didn't even see those guys.
So what about us now?
Luckily, I'm pretty adorable. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
What you doing?
Just buying a car on Carvana.
You are not.
Yeah, it's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes.
Say what? That's fast.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look, I can customize my terms.
Say what? Custom down and monthly payment?
Welcome back to Swac College Football, which is presented by Pepsi. We're at the half. Alabama State 7, Alcorn State 7. Today's halftime band performance is brought to you by Pepsi. Up first, the Alabama State Mighty Marching Hornets under the direction of Dr. James Oliver. Let's take a listen.
20 seconds left. Southern 25, Alabama. A&M has the ball. Second and 5 at Southern's 42-yard line.
For justice to be served, the justice system must be swift, with judges who show up to work and run a tight ship in their courtrooms, like Republican judges do. Unlike Democrat judges, notoriously slow but quick to give criminals a long leash, Republican judges minimize case backlogs, holding criminals accountable swiftly. They don't let victims languish in uncertainty, wondering when the system will serve them. Because Republican judges know justice delayed is justice denied.
You've seen the ads from Ted Cruz lying about my record. As a dad, I can tell you that Ted Cruz's attacks are lies. I don't want boys playing girls' sports or any of this ridiculous stuff that Ted Cruz is saying. But you haven't seen Ted Cruz tell you what he's done for you, because he can't. So I'll keep protecting Medicare and Social Security and fighting to secure the border. But unlike Ted, I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for Texas. I'm calling all red, and I approve this message.
The holidays, and holiday trips, and holiday toys, and holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $3,750 total cash allowance on this Silverado RST. Chevy drives Texas. Together, let's drive.
Davers and I are cousins. Our grandma is from here, so Dave arranged for us to join this Polish tour with you people.
A real pain is one of the best forms of the year.
We're not at the right station. And you didn't wake me up. Oh, you were having such a good nap, dude. Like you're on a tour. Yeah, I know. I just didn't have the heart to wake you up.
Kieran Culkin is a force of nature.
Has he always been like this? I love him, and I hate him. And I want to be him.
It's a masterpiece of a movie.
Thank you so much, man.
A Real Pain, written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg, rated R.
Let's go! Do you love your country?
What happens when you're outnumbered 100 to 1?
You can't trust any of them. Do you love your country?
I am serving my country right now.
Your country needs more.
What's up, fellas? HEB tortillas. You got them. Protein yogurt, yes. I brought blueberry and vanilla this time. There's guac too. I even put in some extra tortilla chips for you.
All right, we got a final score. Southern has defeated Alabama A&M 25-20. Players of the game, T-Set for Southern, 24 for 37, 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. Langford, quarterback for A&M, Alabama A&M, 15 carries, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Damn, quarterback had most of the rushing yards. And the wide receiver, Mr. Morris, 5 receptions, 96 yards and 2 touchdowns for Southern. Wow. Poor Maynard.
The crowd here at the Port City Classic in Mobile, Alabama. Of course, the football game is tied. 7 for Alabama State, 7 for Alcorn State. We'll have more from Swac College football here, presented by Pepsi.
You look like the type that hits a lot of curves. So I'm thinking these.
So with that loss, do y'all think Coach Maynard will make it through the rest of the season? Or do y'all think he will be fired before the season is over with? 4 games remaining. Do you think Coach Maynard will make it to the end of the season? I mean, it's pretty much curtains for him. I mean, they still have to play FAMU in that makeup game in November. But if you look at their record, they're 3-5 overall, and they're 1-3 in the SWAC, and they're playing in the East. So you can just basically cancel them out of the East. So will it be wise to fire Coach Maynard right now and get you a coach that had already started the recruiting process? Or would you want to keep Coach Maynard to the end? I mean, now Alcorn has to win this game. Southern is 5-4, 4-1 in the SWAC. So Alcorn, you have to win. So you think he'll make it through the end of the season with 3 games? Well, they got that November game, so they still got 4 games to play. They got to play FAMU. I think Coach Maynard is a good coach, but you know, he just hit his 100th victory over there. And now, who are y'all looking to replace Coach Maynard with? If I have an Alabama A&M fan in here, alumni, supporter, whatever, who are you trying to find to replace Coach Maynard? Alabama State needs to win this game. Alcorn needs to win this game. Alabama State is trying to keep up with Jackson State, and Alcorn is trying to keep up with Southern. And I'm pretty sure somebody has told them at halftime, look, Jackson State won and Southern just won. Oh, game back on. So this month, man, these last few games, this is going to be very, very interesting. I'm telling people, man, you might want to buckle up, especially if you're a Swac West fan with that Alcorn and Southern and Prairie View and Texas Southern over there. You might want to hold on to your hat. I'm telling you, it's some weird stuff be happening over there, man. The next week or two, it'll all be, you know, you can bet off rolling the dice or playing the lotto, trying to predict the SWAC West. But Southern right now, you know, they leading. I mean, they bounced back way big. Because when they played FAMU, that wasn't the Southern that played Alcorn. So it's what it is, man.
7 apiece between Alabama State and Alcorn State. We continue our halftime performances, which are brought to you by Pepsi with the sounds of dynamite of Alcorn State University under the direction of Dr. Everson Martin. Let's take a listen.
Beyonce. All right. Go ahead on, girl.
All right, you've been listening to the sounds of dynamite from ALCORN State. We'll have more Swac football.
They out there dancing like Beyonce. I ain't mad at her. All right, following scores. It's just about over with for everybody except this game here. And it's an interesting weekend, I should say, already. Southern pulls it off at Alabama A&M. Pine Bluff. Me and my bad knees could have went out there and did better than that. Y'all offered up 3 points. When they say, damn, did you pinch them? You can say you pinched them. After those 3 points, you scored Nathan. Grambling. Back to the drawing board. Coach Mickey, you can cuss out the referees if you want to this week. You still got your ass whooped by Bethune. Prairie View, you jive turkeys. Why would you go and beat Valley in Valley? You're supposed to let Valley win one damn game. But anyway, that's the score, 17-16. Grambling lost 21-24. It's starting to heat up over there in that Swac West. Grambling, all you can do now is play spoiler. But Bethune-Cookman, you can play spoiler, but you ain't going to beat no damn body next week. Ain't nobody crazy. Depending on this game right here, I can see a scenario where Jackson State might have to play Alcorn twice. Well, of course, for the Soul Bowl and then for the Swac championship game. And it's hard to beat a school twice, but Jackson State beat Southern twice for the Swac title, so it can be done. It's no big deal. But it just depends on where Jackson State will actually host the game. If they they would have a better record. So, hey, it is what it is, man. But it's going down, man. The attendance at Jackson State homecoming, they said Jackson State sold out their side and UAPB brought 200 people. Damn. 200 people. I can fit more people in my backyard, man. But anyway, but this Southern team, for them to play like they played today, they ended up scoring 10 points in the third quarter, 6 in the fourth quarter. But Alabama A&M came back to score 10 in the fourth, but it just wasn't enough. Bethune-Cookman put up 17 points in the third quarter on Grambling, and neither team scored in the fourth quarter. And Valley was actually winning, and typical Valley, the last 3-4 minutes, they found a way to lose. So that is pretty much what we got going. And once they update the standings, but that West, if you in the comments can predict who's going to win the West, you own to something. Because I'm not sold on Southern, because Southern can turn around next week and just never know, man.
7, Alcorn State 7. We're at halftime here at the Port City Classic in Mobile, Alabama, alongside Ken Moore. I am Mo Carter, and Ken, both of these teams really got off to a slow start because of the great defensive play, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves tied late in this game.
Yeah, Alcorn able to put together a big 90-yard drive at the end of the half to put some points on the scoreboard, and here's how we got there.
All right, let's take a look at some of your first half highlights. Right here, of course, for Alcorn State, they were really, really trying to do some good things, and then they got a targeting penalty right there. So Cunningham out of the game for the entire game. Huge blow to the Alabama State defense.
Yeah, and then you see the pick six coming up here by Keon Lewis off the arms of Trey Lawrence as he takes it 91 yards to the house. for the first score of the ball game.
And Alabama State held that 7-0 the lead until literally the final play, at least offensively, of the first half, as Alcorn State was able to find pay dirt, and they tie the ball game up at 7. Today's halftime stats are brought to you by Pepsi. Anything stands out to you, Ken?
Well, you look at those total yards for Alcorn, 199 yards total offense in the first half. Most of that coming in the second quarter. If you look at the time of possession, it looks fairly even, right? Well, Alcorn State, they really dominated the second quarter. They had the football for 10 minutes in that second quarter, really wearing down that Alabama State defense after Young Roll got hurt and after Cunningham got ejected. So you see the effects of that on this Alcorn State defense.
I'm actually surprised with the time of possession because it really does not seem as even as it is.
Yeah, really. I mean, Alcorn State, they had the ball a lot in that second quarter. Alabama State dominated the first quarter. It kind of went back and forth a little bit like a tennis match, but Alcorn State really revved it up on that final drive of the half. Now they'll get the football to begin the third quarter to try to get that double play. Score at the end of the half, get the football first, see if they can take the lead here in Mobile.
Absolutely. A different swing of momentum with Alcorn State scoring on that final play of the first half. You know, it's a big difference between being down 7-0 going into the locker room compared to being tied 7-7 and then knowing you're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Now, Alcorn was in this exact same situation 2 weeks ago in Baton Rouge, tied at 14 at the half against the Jaguars. They were shut out in the second half of that ball game. Let's see how they react in the final 30 minutes of the Port City Classic.
All right, here's the opening kick for the second half. It's hauled in by the Braves and tackled immediately is Alcorn State. And, you know, get a little chippiness here and there. But the Braves, they will start off first down and 10 deep inside of their own territory. Ken, what do you think of some of the things that were said in the locker room that we can actually say on air?
Well, look, one, it's all about settling down your quarterbacks. Both of them, Vaughn and Stewart, both of them played in the first half. Both of them struggled a bit. You saw Xavier Vaughn come out on that final drive, finally get some completions, try to get some confidence going. You want to carry that confidence over into this half. Don't let the moment be too big for you if you're Xavier Vaughn.
Xavier Vaughn back in that quarterback once again to start the second half.
Grambling lost to VCU. Coach Eddie Robinson has turned over his grave.
And picking up good yardage for the Braves. As a matter of fact, it might be close to first down yardage on the play.
Well, you lose to Bethune Valley, you got some issues, man.
Alcorn State.
Hey, to put this game in perspective,
very close to that first down marker.
Alabama State
as the lights have finally come
up
on
100 yards per game.
As you mentioned earlier, daylight saving time.
Alcorn has put up 99 yards in one half. Hey, man, something about to shake, man.
Second down and 2 coming up for the Alcorn State Braves. Here's the inside handoff for the Braves, and getting close to that first down marker appears to be Sewell on the play, and he is very, 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 very close. And they're going to tell him move the stick. So first down, Alcorn State.
DD, you think Grambling going to find Coach Mickey
hour of tailgating for those that are partaking in the parking lot after the ball game?
Coach Mickey going to be gone?
An extra hour of other activities going on that are connected to the Port City Classic as well. They had some concerts and comedy shows. And let's take a look at, you know, the rushing yards. 190 per game, which is third in the Swac, but only 99 on the ground today. So they're well under what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a ground control team, and that's how they like to operate, take the pressure off the quarterbacks by using the ground game.
Xavier Vaughn with a quick pass across the middle to Griffin, and Griffin picks up positive yards on the play, brings up third down.
And you see them with the
Alcorn feeling themselves,
getting the football out of the hands of Vaughn very quickly. One read options.
And here is the swing out this time, and nothing doing for Rogers on the play. As Brandon Rogers hauls it in. Jackson coming up with the tackle. And we've got a fourth down for Alcorn State. And Coach Thomas looks like he's going to send out the punting unit.
That ain't good.
We're not able to sustain that drive. Picked up one first down, trying to go up tempo to keep Alabama State from substituting. But unable to pick up that second first down to keep the drive going.
A.J. Harrell back deep for Alabama State. Hornets are not going to send any pressure. They're going to set up for a return. And here's Harrell. He hauls it in. He's at the 30. He's at 35, 40, 50, 45, 40. And the
turf monster got him.
Wow.
Bruh. The turf
monster gets him in the worst way because he had nothing but space and opportunity.
That was a touchdown, brother.
Opportunity was gone. Watch the wall that is set up over here on the sideline. Great blocking.
Nothing in front of you, bro.
Had one man to beat. The kicker was already taken out of the play.
What the hell?
And we've seen it before, my friend. The turf monster will rise up and get you at the worst possible moment. But great field position for Alabama State to begin their first drive of the second half.
Kareem Key bringing the offense out onto the field. He's got trips to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Rushing on the year, they go 192, but only 47 today. Here's a quick swing pass out to the wide receiver, and going nowhere is Alabama's Jalen Jones being taken down by ALCORN's Markel McLaurin on the play.
ALCORN, look, they made some adjustments in the bye week because they saw what happened against Southern, giving up nearly 300 yards on the ground. They know Alabama State wanted to come into this ball game and establish the run. What they've decided to do, they normally run too high. That means two safeties back deep. If you look at this defensive formation, you see number 0 here at the bottom of the screen, down in the box to protect against the run.
Here's a handoff on second down, kicking it outside is Kai Kendall, and Kendall's going to get to the outside, picks up positive yardage, makes it third and manageable for Alabama State.
Look at the Hornets so far on third down this afternoon. Only 2 of 7 in third down conversions for Alabama State here today.
So Alabama State with trips to the near side once again. Tight end to the top side, single back alongside Kareem Key. Approaching the 11-minute mark in the third quarter. We are tied at 7 here in the Port City Classic down in Mobile. Of course, this is the second HBCU Classic of the year. Earlier in the year, it was Jackson State defeating Alabama A&M. Here's a quick pass across the middle, and it is incomplete. Asa Gregg, the intended wide receiver on the play, but it was broken up by Alcorn State's Markel McLaurin, who's making some big plays for this defense already in the second half.
Yeah, Key really struggling at quarterback here today. The pressure being applied by Alcorn, only 6 of 11 for the freshman quarterback here this afternoon for Alabama State.
So Harrison Tuck will come on for the punting duties of the Hornets.
Key last week against Alabama A&M was 14 of 20 for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns, but a different story here this afternoon.
Amarion Blake's back deep for Alcorn State. Once again, he's yelling, Peter, Peter, Peter. Everybody get out of the way after what happened earlier in the first half. Johnson will field the ball, and we'll be right back with more Swac football.
When you need a tool that does it all, you need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. Because if you're going to do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style, made for snacking.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph.
So if I'm reading the comments right,
and the impromptu throwdown.
It sounds like the Gremlin faithful is not too happy with the performance that that Coach Mickey is putting on. And look, man, no disrespect to Coach Dooley, but Dooley he likes to dress too fancy for me on the sideline.
Between Alcorn State and Alabama State. Let's take a look at Alcorn State. They were founded in 1871. Location Lorman, Mississippi, an enrollment of nearly 3,000. And the president is Tracy Cook. Notable alums, of course, the late great Steve McNair and his brother Fred McNair. Eric McNair 1, Eric McNair 2. A good buddy of mine, Emmanuel Arsenault, who was a CFL All-Star. And
Coach Chisholm, the 1984 Alcorn team.
Former head coach of the Buffalo Bills and a long-time assistant coach with various programs in the National Football League. Of course, he played for the Alcorn State Braves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Jimmy Giles there, who's a great tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day. The original Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they wore those orange popsicle jerseys.
The cream sickles.
Yes, sir.
Back in the Doug Williams days.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're back to action here at the Port City Classic. First down and 10 for Alcorn. Here is the handoff, and going nowhere on the play is going to be Anthony Williams. They lined him up in the backfield, handed it off, but Rico Dozier having none of that. Second down coming up for Alcorn State.
Alcorn still going tempo. Anthony Williams came in as a wide receiver, playing a lot of running back now.
And look at this. It is Vaughn picking up first down yardage for Alcorn State, busting into that Alabama State defense.
There's that dual threat. RPO read. Everyone goes with Williams, leaves Vaughn all by his lonesome. And you see the 6'6" frame and those long strides.
Here's Williams now with the handoff, and Williams, he's got some space. Williams into the defensive backfield, and he is well into Alabama State territory.
This is crazy. I've never seen a team run on Alabama State this year.
Watch 77.
Wow.
Come around, pulling, still block that time.
Wow.
He's eating up space for Williams to get to the second level.
All right, and Alcorn State going with a little tempo. They hand it off once again to Williams. Williams may have got a gain of 1 on the play.
Hey, to everybody that's just coming in, more than welcome to watch. Can you just please like and hit the like button, subscribe if you want to.
Any positive yardage.
All right, here's the swing pass out for Alcorn State. It is caught and picking up solid yardage on the play. Tavarius Adams for the Braves.
And again, Alabama State missing 2 key contributors to their defense right now.
Here's another swing pass out to Adams. And Adams this time gets past the first down marker. They'll move those chains once again. And Alcorn State looking solid like they did at the end of the first quarter.
Going with the same formula. Up-tempo, short passing game. Hit them with the quick running game. Keeping this Alabama State defense on their heels.
Double twin set. Top side and near side. Here's Xavier Vaughn. He's just going to swing it out once again. He gets it over to Griffin, and Griffin will get what he can. And Alcorn State's going to have second down. Alcorn State rocking the old gold outfit, old gold helmets with purple numbers and white trims, along with the old gold pants. There you see head coach Cedric Thomas.
I love that look.
You know, nowadays with these uniform combinations, I mean, you could put together just about anything. And it all looks good.
It does. Look good, play good.
Offside.
Yes, sir. And we got a penalty marker on the play.
He offside, that right
Go down
end.
to Preston Clipper.
What? What? They showed a replay. The right end was clearly offside
It down.
on the defense. Well, look who the referee is. That's all I can tell y'all.
This afternoon, big ball game in the Swac. Both of these teams in second place in their respective divisions.
Clifford is hell, boy.
Trying to stay in the hunt for a possible championship.
Second down, we'll call it 13 for Alcorn State. Xavier Vaughn slings it across the middle, and it is caught by Amarion Blakes, and Blakes is down to about the 10-yard line. Alcorn State will be knocking on the door.
See the end zone angle here. Great protection that time. Blakes coming uncovered in the flat. We have an injured player down back at the 31-yard line.
That's an Alabama State player. Can't really get the number, but as you mentioned, huge game for both Alabama State and Alcorn State, both currently sitting in second place of the Swac East and West divisions, respectively. Southern University has already beaten Alcorn State, which means that their lead has already beaten Alcorn State head-to-head. They beat Alabama A&M today, which means that their lead remains the same. Jackson State has already scored a victory today as well for homecoming, which means their lead remains the same against Alabama State.
Yeah, so both of these ball clubs have to win this ball game today, but only one can come out victorious, and right now they're knotted up in a 7-7 tie halfway through this third quarter.
And we mentioned scores. We will bring you a Swac scoreboard
Man,
later
it's
in
done.
the
Did
time
not
to show you
beat
what's
FAMU.
going on in and around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. First down and
May not even make it to the
Ball
FAMU game after that.
11-yard line.
Oh, I know they mad, boy.
You
lost the classic.
Xavier Vaughn hands it off to Williams, and Williams picks up
let,
maybe 2 yards.
Southern come in your house and
that
beat
play. Rico Dozier and that interior front of Alabama State were waiting on him. Of course, we call Rico Dozier's name a lot. He's wearing black and gold for the second year in a row, just in a different uniform. He was with Arkansas Pine Bluff last year and decided to transfer over to Alabama State in a move that Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. and his staff called as a blessing because of all the great defensive players they've got. It'll be interesting to see how many ASU Hornets make all SWAC this year. Here's Xavier Vaughn. Going to call his own number, running out of time, and he is going to be taken down by a swarm of Hornets right there, leading the way, Elijah Elmore.
Another big third down coming up here for Alcorn inside the red zone. Coming into the ball game today, 22 trips inside the red zone, only 12 turned into touchdowns. They did get a red zone score right before halftime, trying to pick up another one here in the third quarter.
Now, Alcorn State is 1 for 1 inside the red zone. That one score coming at the end of the first half to tie the ball game up before we went into the locker room. Here's Xavier Vaughn calling for the ball in the shotgun. He's going to sling it across the middle, and the touchdown is dropped. Oh, my goodness. The touchdown is dropped by Tyron Warren.
That's his second drop today.
It was a little bit behind him, though. It was a little bit behind him.
2 critical drops by Warren.
He was wide open. All you had to do was just throw the ball, man.
That would have given Alcorn.
Yeah, I know. If the ball touch your hands, you catch it.
Point lead with an extra point. Now they'll have to settle for a field goal opportunity.
Field goal opportunity coming up for Alcorn State, trying to take their first lead of the day. Here's a snap. Kick is up. And it is good. But we do have a penalty marker on the play.
Oh, my goodness. Man. Wait a minute.
Well, there are too many men on the field for the Hornets.
We're sitting close to some Alcorn State fans who may not be happy.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 minute formation.
First down.
Good. 5-yard penalty.
So Alabama State with one too many men on the field. The kick was no good. However, they will take the penalty.
You can swarm as 11.
Yes.
You cannot swarm as 12.
I thought that was automatic first down.
My goodness. So this will make it more of a chip shot from 23 yards.
Noah Kiani coming on. 23-yard attempt. I mean, he missed the first attempt, but it was a bad snap. Alabama State loading up the right side. And this time, the kick is up and good by Kiani. And Alcorn State has their first lead of the day. Braves lead 10-7. More Swac football coming back on the other side of the break.
Damn goofy ref. All right. With 9 minutes and 44 seconds left, Texas Southern 28, FAMU 49. Wow. Real shootout. Both teams scored 21 points in the third quarter, and both teams have scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So that's definitely a shootout. But it's over with, just about over with. Yeah. And it says T says late touchdown pass to Dupree helped Southern beat Alabama A&M. Coach Maynard, I think they're going to be playing that song. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. It's a wrap, Coach Maynard. I hate it for you, brother, but hey, man, you got to go, bro. Pine Bluff, better luck next year. And definitely valid, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. But this game right here, 10-7, I'm telling you, both of these teams know that Jackson State won and Southern won. Y'all think I guarantee you both head coaches know. They'll tell you they don't. You do not want to lose this game. Either team. And I guarantee you, when Alabama State plays Jackson State in 2 weeks, FAMU is going to be their biggest cheerleader. And when Jackson State plays Alcorn, FAMU will be their biggest cheerleader again. So these last few games are very important.
Field goal of 23 yards. That's where we stand right here in the third quarter at the 2024 Port City Classic in Mobile. Let's look at this. Sweet home Alabama. Alabama State is playing 9 games in the Yellowhammer State. They had home games against Miles and Florida A&M and Mississippi Valley, and they'll also be taking on Jackson State at home, Prairie View at home, and Tuskegee at home. Magic City Classic against Alabama A&M was in Birmingham. The Sanford game was in the Birmingham area, and today they're playing Alcorn State here in Mobile. So I would credit Dr. Jason Cable, the athletic director, for keeping the fans as close as they could, going up and down the I-65 corridor.
Hey, trying to keep everybody within the state, trying to keep all the money in the state of Alabama as well as the fans are traveling around the state to see their Hornets this year. Now they have to take advantage of it as they are trailing here in the Port City Classic, a huge ball game here. And here comes a little short kickoff as Alcorn tried to surprise them with a little okie doke.
Yeah, they tried to catch Alabama State napping instead. The ball bounces out of bounds.
Wildcats. You a Bethune-Cookman fan, HBCU fan talk? God bless you.
Coach Cedric Thomas right there on the previous play. You actually saw Coach Eddie Robinson Jr.
That's
talking
right.
to one of his Hornets players that was actually the closest to where the ball went out of bounds, saying you have to cover every portion of the field you can, especially if the ball is coming towards you.
Yeah, absolutely. And good break for Alabama State. They're going to have great field position once again, this time spotting the ball right at midfield. Last drive started at the Alcorn 42-yard line. They were unable to move it. Now they get great field position once again.
But don't forget, the Turf Monster also played a major part as far as like why they started at the 42 instead of
scoring.
Exactly. All right, so here's Alabama State first play. Kakendo coming through with a 7-yard gain. We'll call it second down coming up. Handoff once again to him, and he's going to pick up first down yardage. So Alabama State kind of going back to the ground and pound that they were known for throughout the year to become successful because of all the shifting of quarterbacks due to injury throughout the year.
And look, this is just one of those old school games where whoever wins in the trenches is going to end up coming out on top here this afternoon. Both teams just trying to grind it out.
And it's funny you mentioned that too, Ken, because and there's a fumble, and there's a scrum for the ball, and Alcorn State appears to have it, and yes, they picked it up. Recovering the ball on the play for Alcorn State, number 44, Malachi Bailey.
That ball came flying out like it was shot out of a cannon.
Correct.
And Malachi Bailey comes up with the big fumble recovery for the Braves.
The fumble recovered by Alcorn.
Wait a minute.
Unsportsmanlike conduct number 1 on Alcorn. Flash signal. Half the distance is what we're going to do. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Alcorn.
So the ball will be in the possession of Alcorn State. However, Markel McLaurin was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So Alcorn State will be charged half the distance to the goal on that one. As you see Bailey right there, he got his crown and his royalty cape.
Here's the fumble once again. You see the inside handoff. And the ball just stripped out. Couldn't make the number of who got their big paw in there to punch it out. But Malachi Bailey able to come up with the recovery.
Talk about a huge play for Alcorn State, especially after they've already taken the lead for the first time, and now they have an opportunity to extend their lead possible. Alabama State's defense will be on their heels as Alcorn State moves from right to left on your television screen. Under 5 minutes
Cedric Thomas said if a player gets an unsportsmanlike conduct
penalty, here's Xavier Vaughn rolling out and just throws the ball away. He was pressured right there again.
And causing that fumble on the previous play was Cullen Scott, the 6'2 senior out of Rosedale, Louisiana. But that penalty, the unsportsmanlike penalty, again, it puts Alcorn, even though they got the turnover, instead of having good field position, it puts them back inside their own 15-yard line.
Pushes them way back. Xavier Vaughn going to throw the swing pass out to Anthony Williams, and Williams is
good
going
open field tackle.
Nowhere. Credit the tackle right there. James Burgess Jr. coming through the deuce.
Look at him.
Senior out of Center Point, Alabama, read that play perfectly. They've seen that little screen pass enough here this afternoon, and they sniffed it out that time for a big loss. So now Xavier Vaughn and company, they have to dial up something here on 3rd and 15. You don't want to put the football in harm's way. I wouldn't be surprised to see a quarterback draw here.
Alabama State going with a 4-2-5 look on this 3rd down and 15. Here's Xavier Vaughn under pressure, avoids the tackle, and he's just going to try to take off what he can get.
He got lucky on that one.
4th down coming up. But, man, credit Vaughn for getting out of that tackle because he easily could have been taken down for a safety.
It's hard to bring him down one-on-one. Usually you need to have at least 2 defenders to bring down this dynamic quarterback who's really, really good with his legs as far as escaping pressure and making something out of nothing. And that time just able to get some positive yardage here and try to keep his team out of harm's way.
Harrell and McMinn will be back deep for Alabama State, approaching the 3-minute mark to go in the 3rd quarter. Man, this 3rd quarter is actually flying by. No broadcaster's jinx, though.
I did. You didn't. You saw the awkward, pregnant pause that I had there.
The punt takes a great Alcorn State roll, and it'll be down at the 45-yard line. That's where Alabama State will start 1st and 10 when we return with more Swac football on ESPN.
We are exactly what you think.
Now, that was crazy football, in my opinion. You get a great turnover, then you negate so many yards by unsportsmanlike conduct. So, what did you really solve? Because you basically went 3 and out, almost got a safety. But I got it. You flipped the field just a little bit. But Alabama State is starting to self-destruct. With those 2 players out on defense, ALCORN is really running the ball. But in return, Alabama State is actually moving the ball too. But as you can see, fumbles and, the turf monsters caused a touchdown. So this game is still pretty much evenly matched. A field goal separates them. And if Alabama can go right down the score, but they actually playing like they don't understand that they got to play Jackson State in 2 weeks. And if you let an ALCORN run on you, just imagine what Irv Mulligan is going to do to you. Mulligan finished today with 140-something yards again. So, and I'm pretty sure he'll get another 150, maybe 200 against Valley. That man just might come up with 1,000 yards. You never know, man. But starting to be undisciplined, ALCORN, is not going to help you. Not against this team. You got the defense where you want. Like I said, Alabama State was only giving up like 100 yards rushing the entire game. ALCORN managed to get 99 yards rushing in the first half. That's the first this year that they've ever given up that many yards. So this is going to come down to who wants it more and who is disciplined. Because trust me, these teams are going to start to get chippy, and it's not going to help you. All right, game back on.
Pepsi, Port City Classic, Alabama State, ALCORN State. Alabama State with the ball on their own 45-yard line. Here's Kareem Key. He's going to throw it out. The pass is complete to Eric Horn. First time we called his name today, and Horn will get the ball across the midfield stripe.
Again, just trying to get the ball out of Key's hand quickly, just a little quick sideline route. Had a blocker in front. Able to pick up some good positive yardage on first down, second and short situation. This is where Alabama State likes to operate. They've been behind the chains a lot here tonight.
And here's the handoff of the gut. That will be Daquan Kinsey, and Kinsey will have enough yardage for a first down.
Alabama State, they've had great field position this entire second half. This is their third opportunity. The first possession went 3 and out, began at the ALCORN 42 after the great kickoff return. Last possession began at midfield. They had the fumble, and now possession number 3 here in the third quarter. They pick up a first down. Let's see if they can get a little momentum going here.
Alabama State with the stacked double twins on the top side and near side. Key in the backfield with a single running back. Here's Key. He's going to try to go up top. Oh, he's got touchdown. A man, Eric Horn. Touchdown, Alabama State.
I seen that one. Whew. Uh-oh. Somebody about to mess up the church's money.
How about those Hornets?
Whew.
Eric Horn, 44-yard touchdown on the play, and the ASU Hornets have regained the lead.
But he just beat one-on-one coverage at the bottom. Edwin Summerall, the leading interceptor in the SWAC.
Oh, goodness. He was open by at least 5 yards.
Horn down that right sideline, and it was an easy pitch and catch from Key to Horn as they unlock the end zone for the first time tonight on offense.
Extra point is up, and it is good, and we've got a brand new ball game. This time momentum in the favor of Alabama State. Eric Horn coming through, 44-yard touchdown reception. Hornets on top by 4.
What a huge momentum play. And again, if you continue to put them in good field position,
my goodness,
sometimes
he got wide open. He was
going to burst, and it did that time. As again, they just go over the top, and that twins formation at the bottom that you mentioned, Bo, just got them some confusion on the back end of that secondary.
And we were wondering when was this Alabama State offensive staff going to really let Kareem Key open up the offense, try to allow him to spread the defense out, stretch the defense. And finally, they gave him an opportunity. He was able to do it.
Well, I think the game plan coming in, and you don't blame him for it, is, hey, ALCORN has not stopped the run really all year. We're going to come in and we're going to try to push it against them. And they were unable to do so. ALCORN's been playing 8 in the box for the most part here tonight, playing one-on-one on the outside. So they said, hey, you know what? If they're going to play one-on-one and we're in plus territory, let's go ahead and take a shot with our freshman quarterback. And he put it on the money.
Alabama State kicking off. On the return, here comes ALCORN. That's Anthony Williams, and he will be tripped up. But, hey, we do have a flag on the play, so we'll have to go back down to the field to check that out. But on the tackle, that was Ethan Tukes of Alabama State.
There's going to be a block in the back against the Braves. So once again, they will start deep inside their own territory. And if ALCORN ends up losing this ball game here tonight, you can strictly point to field position. I mean, field position in this ball game has been the difference maker.
Yeah, field position, and a lot of those bad field position situations are because of penalties that happened literally on the play before.
Exactly.
You know, you had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty prior to the last drive, which, you know, was a result of a fumble recovery, and now on the kickoff return. Look how deep they are. Ball resting right now on the 8-yard line. Here's Xavier Vaughn. He's going to hand it off, and going nowhere on the play is his running back. That's Rogers.
Oh, look at him.
And Rogers taken down by a swarm of Hornets led by Elijah Elmore and also number 48, Miles Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson getting in with a big bear hug that time in the backfield with no gain. ALCORN 163 yards rushing on the ground this afternoon. 133 through the air.
Under a minute to go. Here's Xavier Vaughn under pressure. He's going to throw it in the dirt. He did have Rogers near. Yeah, and the official ran straight over to him and said, hey, the running back was near.
Flip it, ready to call something.
So should not be intentional grounding, at least from what the officials are saying. Take another look at this. Xavier Vaughn calling for the ball, and then under pressure, and he just throws it straight to the ground. Yeah, Rogers is right there.
Yeah,
good no call by the officials there. So it'll just be a play on third down and long coming up now for ALCORN. Braves so far tonight, 5 of 12 on third down.
Here's Xavier Vaughn. And Vaughn almost sacked, but he will go down on the play. Finishing it up would be Rico Dozier, Alcorn State.
Oh, he hurt. He hurt, man.
Only had 5.
He hurt.
5 offensive linemen.
That's a
now
concussion.
Vaughn appears to be injured.
That's a concussion.
Let's take a look back at what happened on the play.
Watch.
A lot of pressure on Xavier Vaughn on this play.
Inside
pressure. See him take a couple of hits there.
See when he ran into that young man's chest area.
That got him down. That was Rico Dozier.
Seriously.
The final hit. Initial penetration was by Kanye Varner. Forced him to step up in the pocket. So not a concern is for Xavier Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You know, players
either concussion or his neck.
Concern of these
Seriously.
coaches and their athletic staffs. See Coach Cedric Thomas right there to your immediate left. You never like to see injuries, but one thing I can tell you that in these situations, Ken, I love how you have both trainers from Alcorn State and Alabama State always rushing out, no matter who the player is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, great sportsmanship on both sides and great medical care for both of these teams. And We've seen a couple of guys go down here today. We saw Young Roll for Alabama State go down in the first half, come out of the ball game.
Now you see Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. coming out just to check on the opposing quarterback as well. Both trainers from Alabama State and ALCORN State checking on Vaughn to make sure he's A-okay. He's walking off under his own power.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. He walking off on his own power.
See a little grimace come across his face. A little pain. Not feeling the best right now, but at least he's coming off under his own power, so that's good news.
Always a good sign for sure. Fourth down will be coming up now for ALCORN State. They'll be in a punting situation. A.J. Harrell and Robert McMinn will be back deep.
Alabama State should have great field position once again. Looks like they're going to let this clock tick down to the end of the quarter.
Look, and speaking of being...
That is the end of the third quarter. That is the end of the third quarter.
Fourth quarter, baby.
3 in Mobile. Alabama State leads by 4. Fourth quarter coming up next.
It's fourth quarter. Who wants it more? Hey, if you have not, please press the like button. Subscribe to the channel every weekend, except the last Bayou Classic. I will be live streaming a football game. I'll be at the Bayou Classic. But my name is Oren G. This is the Oren G Swac Sport Network. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30, bringing you highlights, scores from every Swac sport there is. All 12 Swac schools are represented here. It don't matter if you Valley or you Jackson State or you Grambling or Southern. You get your shine on this channel. The next week's game coming up, if you don't have HBCU Go, you need to go ahead and download that HBCU Go app. Jackson State and Valley will be playing, and HBCU Go game day will be in Jackson. I think it starts at 11 Central. Yeah, start at 11 a.m. Central time. So check them out if you're in the Jackson area. Also, shout out to the Texas Southern ladies soccer team. They are regular season SWAC champions in soccer. I do soccer, volleyball, basketball, all those games. So it don't matter around here. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And the scores from earlier today, the finals from earlier, Texas Southern 28, FAMU 52. Southern 25, Alabama A&M 20, Arkansas Pine Bluff 3, Jackson State 41, Grambling 21, Bethune-Cookman 24, and Perry View 17, Mississippi Valley 16. Only Valley can lose in that Valley type of fashion. So check it out. After the game, we'll go over for the games of next week. And who do you think right now in the SWAC deserves to be Player of the Year? My honest opinion is Herb Mulligan, the running back from Jackson State. Coming in a strong second is the quarterback from FAMU. That man is averaging 3 touchdowns a game through the air for just about every SWAC game. So that's just my opinion. Who is your opinion of who is the SWAC Player of the Year so far? We only got, after this week, after tonight, there's only 3 games left. So get that in mind. And who do you think will win that wacky, wild SWAC West? I have no idea who is going to win that SWAC West. The East, I said Jackson State going to win the SWAC, period. But the East is looking like it's more and more Jackson State. But the West, I would like to know who you think can really win the West. Game back on.
5 here in Mobile, Alabama. Port City Classic, as you take a look at the scores by quarter. We didn't do anything in the first quarter, but then the second and third saw all the scoring, Ken.
Yeah, tied up at halftime at 7. ALCORN had the big drive, 90-yard drive at the end of the first half to tie it up. Alabama State retakes the lead here near the end of the third.
Here comes ALCORN State with the punt. A.J. Harrell catches the ball surrounded by at least 5 different players, but he's able to make the grab. And Alabama State will have solid field position on their first drive in the fourth quarter.
The West is wide open, but Southern can.
Now, if you're Alabama State, clearly we've seen things work on both sides.
Southern,
of their offensive attack in the rushing game and the passing game more recently.
All we hear
now they've got ALCORN State
NFL draft is
on their toes coming up.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Again, they've been able to
HBCU
win.
players are making an A
here this afternoon, starting at plus.
I'm watching them in the NFL.
Here at the 38th, and this really takes the pressure off a young quarterback like Key, where you're not backed up inside your own 20-yard line like Xavier Vaughn has been for most of this ball game here tonight, as they're going to actually give him 1 extra yard and move it up to the 37.
Let's see what offensive coordinator Chris Barnett dials up for Kareem Key and his Alabama State offense. First play, and it'll be a handoff, and Daquan Kinsey going nowhere on the play. As a matter of fact, he'll be tackled for a loss of 1. Malachi Bailey coming up with the tackle for a loss.
Well, Malachi Bailey, of course, he is the bell cow. He is the ringleader of this Alcorn Brave defense.
Alcorn
his penetration
will lose this game, and Southern will take the
one-on-one defender. Bailey came into this ball game leading the teams.
So it's going to be a repeat of a couple years ago when Southern and Jackson State had to play each other twice.
I'll tell you this: I've seen a lot of great defensive players,
this
year,
SWAC
especially on the defensive line. Remember, there's only 4 guys that can make all SWAC. I am very interested to see who those 4 guys are going to be. Here's Daquan Kinsey once again going nowhere, and Bailey leading the charge on the tackle for loss, brings up 3rd down, and we'll call it long coming up.
Well, you got 2 of them in this ball game today. You got Malachi Bailey, you got Traquan Thomas on the other side, and you see a host of Braves there to stop the running game of Kinsey there, forcing now Alabama State into a 3rd and long situation here for the Hornets, where they're 2 of 8 on 3rd down so far in this ball game.
Yeah, you mentioned them. I think about Gibbons from Southern University. I mean, Jackson State's got a slew of great defensive linemen. Here's Kareem Key slinging it out, and
great open field tackle.
But going nowhere on that play is Bakari Daly. So to be 4th and 11, Alabama State had great field position, but Alcorn State's defense bends but doesn't break, and they cause Alabama State to not get into a punting situation.
And that was a great job by Andre Smith, the defensive back over, making that tackle. And he's just coming back from injury. Did not play last week, returning from injury. The senior out of Mansfield Legacy High School in Mansfield, Texas, coming up with a big defensive play.
Back deep for Alcorn State, Amarion Blakes. Alcorn comes after it, and got a block punt. The ball is rolling, and it's going to be recovered by Alabama State, but Alcorn State's going to have great field position in Alabama State territory. Wow. What a time for special teams to come up huge. But before I jump into anything else, I do see a penalty marker on the field.
Oh, here we go. Watch Clifford. Watch Clifford.
Wow, what?
Watch Clifford.
Play if it stands for Alcorn State.
What?
All right, sideline warning on Alcorn State, but the play will stand, and Alcorn's going to have great field position in Alabama State territory.
What a turn in momentum.
16-yard line.
First time today that Alcorn starts on this side of the 50. And they're going to start inside the red zone where they're going to mark off. They're going to spot the ball now back at the 22-yard line, just outside the red zone.
As you mentioned, great field position, because as we look at those third quarter drives, on 25, on 12, on 13, and on 8. Now they're starting in the fourth quarter. Ball resting on the Alabama State 22-yard line. And at quarterback is Trey Lawrence. Of course, we saw Xavier Vaughn go down with an injury.
Trade the whole line.
And the handoff goes up the middle. Maybe a gain of about 3 yards on the play for Anthony Williams. Second down coming up for Alcorn State.
Trey Lawrence so far this afternoon, only 3 of 7 for 37 yards, 1 interception. He's been sacked twice.
Trey Lawrence calling for the ball. And he will hand it off, going around the right side. Anthony
Touchdown.
Williams cuts back, touchdown, Alcorn State.
Wow.
Anthony Williams puts Alcorn State back out in front. And, kid, we got a ball game on our hands here in the Port City Classic.
Well, you wonder what can turn around a ball game. Sometimes it's your special teams. Put you in
You can drive a truck through that hole, bro.
See Anthony Williams. We talked about him a couple of times tonight. The coach says once he gets to the second level, he is hard to bring down. You saw the little wiggle and shake to get into the end zone and give the Braves back the lead.
That juke move right there at the goal line really made the difference for him to get that score. Extra point attempt coming up. It's up, and it is true. So with 11:53 to go in regulation, Alcorn State leads 17-14. More from the Port City Classic after the break.
What a turn of events right then and there. Hey, fourth quarter, baby. Who wants it? You're up by 3. Can your defense hold? Or can Alabama State go down the field and score? Look at the clock. How you going to control the clock? To me, it seems like both defense are bending real. They on one knee right now. They bending real good. Real good they bending. Do you think Alcorn can hold Alabama State to a 3 and out? Or do you think Alabama State going to take this ball down and score? Both offenses are starting to move the ball a whole lot better, and both defenses are starting to break. So you only got maybe 2 or 3 more possessions left. It's showtime now. You got to dig deep if you want it. Like I said, I guarantee you, both coaches know that the teams that they're chasing for the division lead won. So it is what it is, man. So sit back and buckle up, grab you some yak, some Colt 45, some Old English 800, some booms, Wild Irish rolls, and get ready for these last few minutes. It's Swac football on a Saturday night. You live and direct in the boom boom room. If I ain't got it, you can get it. If I can't get it, you ain't got it. Enjoy the show, baby.
Rich in tradition, pride and pedigree, sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the Swac, building champions for life.
Today's Swac scoreboard is brought to you by Pepsi. Southern squeaking out a victory in Huntsville over Alabama A&M 25-20. Jackson State all over Pine Bluff by 38. Homecoming win. Bethune-Cookman 3 better than Grambling. Grambling will face Alabama State next week. Valley squeaking out of the Delta with a victory. And then Florida A&M at the bottom, man, just running rough shot over Texas Southern for their homecoming victory.
Yeah, and the big one right there, Grambling losing to Bethune-Cookman, but Southern maintaining their hold on first place in the West with a big win over Alabama A&M.
Absolutely. And after the kickoff, we'll show you the standings for the SWAC coming into today. Of course, both of these two teams that are playing right here in the Port City Classic, Eddie Robinson and his Alabama State Hornets, Cedric Thomas and his Alcorn State Braves, both are in second place in the East and West divisions, respectively. Here's Robert McMinn on the return. McMinn at the 20. At the 25, it'll be tackled around the 28-yard line, and that's where Alabama State will begin. First down and 10. All right, so we promised you the standings. Here they are. These are the standings coming into today. Swac standings brought to you by GM, of course. Alabama State, 3-1 coming to today's game in conference play. ALCORN, 3-1 coming into today's game. Both teams in second place, but the margin of error to get the Swac championship game very small for both.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas Southern falls to 2-3 with their loss today. So now Southern goes to 4-1. Jackson goes to 5-0. That makes this game even more important because you have to stay behind both of those ball clubs. Whoever loses today essentially falls 2 games behind the leader with only a couple of weeks to go in the season.
Yes, sir. Alabama State will travel to Grambling next week, and then if they win tonight, win next week, they will be playing Jackson State for first place in the SWAC East Division in 2 weeks. But first things first, they got to handle business here today at Ladd Peoples Stadium. ALCORN State actually needs a little help as well since they do not have the tiebreaker over Southern University due to the loss they took a few weeks ago at Southern's homecoming. But right now, they are on top, 17-14. Kareem Key and his offense moving from right to left on your television screen. 2nd down and 5 coming up. Ball resting on the Alabama State 32-yard line. Here's Kareem Key. That's going to call his own number, and Key is going to go nowhere on the play, taking them down on that play right there. Stamarian Edwards of ALCORN State, 3rd down for Alabama State.
Great job by Edwards. Seeing, reading, reacting. See quarterback, read quarterback, react to the quarterback run, drops him for a short gain, put Alabama State back in a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 8 coming up for the Bama State Hornets. Rocking the white helmets, white jersey with gold number and black pants. The white helmet's more of a newer addition to the uniform over recent years. Traditionally, they will rock the gold helmets. Here is Key throwing it deep downfield, and he's got a man, and it is caught down the field by Alabama State's Jalen Jones. Has his helmet ripped off, but holds on to the ball, and Alabama State has the first down deep inside of ALCORN State territory.
Great route over here on the side. He did a little up and out, got the defender to break, and then turned on the Jets. Great route by Jalen Jones up the seam, and a huge completion on 3rd and long for Alabama State.
He was able to get behind Jeffrey McKelton on the play. Alabama State first down and 10, ball resting on the ALCORN State 28-yard line. Here's McMinn going in motion as Kareem Key steps back to pass, and he's going to throw it over to McMinn. McMinn makes the catch, picks up solid yardage. 2nd down coming up for the Hornets.
Yeah, just that little motion allowed him to work himself free. McMinn on that near sideline, an easy throw and catch for Key. Pick up some nice positive yardage on 1st down.
You know, this is the first time I've seen McMinn wear black cleats this entire year. He's actually been wearing pink cleats majority of the year. We asked Coach Robinson about that. He had mentioned that he has some family members who have been affected by breast cancer. He does it beyond the month of October. But maybe so he just wanted to be regular uniform tonight. McMinn makes the grab right there, but he is upended quick, fast, and in a hurry by Markel McLaurin on the play to bring up 3rd down for Alabama State.
I think McLaurin kind of got blocked into that tackle by accident, but they'll take it whatever way they can get it right now if you're ALCORN State.
3rd and 5 coming up for Alabama State. Under 9 minutes to go in regulation. Bama State 5 of 13 on 3rd down conversions thus far. McMinn coming in motion. He's going to roll back to the far side, creates a trip. And then McMinn's going to catch the ball, and he is close to the 1st down marker. It would depend on the spot, and he looks to be a yard short, Ken.
But again, they put McMinn in motion to identify the defense, saw that they were in zone. That makes it gives him a little bit more operating room as they roll Key out. McMinn rolling with him. But now decision time for Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. as looks like he'll leave the offense on the field.
You know, I'm surprised that McMinn didn't try to stretch the ball across that line for the 1st down. All right, Here comes Alabama State. They looked like they were getting ready to go to a full house backfield.
They only had 2 seconds on the play clock.
Coach Barnett calling his squad over.
Huge play.
All right, so if you look at the bottom of the screen, you do see Andrew Body, number 1. He was the transfer quarterback coming from Texas Southern. Got injured in the Orange Blossom Classic. And after that, it went to second string, then third string, then fourth string, and now they're on the fifth string quarterback in Kareem Key. And, of course, he played at Monroe High School in Adamsville, Alabama, around the Birmingham area. Had over 2,200 yards and 24 touchdowns. Decided to go to Point University and play baseball. Transferred over to Alabama State, walked on as a wide receiver who could play QB, and then eventually by the middle of the season, he's in the QB rotation. What a story for this young man. And here's Alabama State. The handoff goes to Harris, and Harris is into the end zone for a touchdown. Do your dance, man, because you put Alabama State back on top. ALCORN looking for maybe an inside run. Instead, Harris bounces outside, and there was nobody out there to stop him from scoring a touchdown and putting Alabama State back on top.
Great block on the outside. 54, Desmond Penn sealing the edge, and that allowed Harris to turn the corner, and there was only one safety deep, and he had to outrun him to the pylon, and Alabama State responds. The huge play in that drive was the big pass play to Jalen Jones to get him out of harm's way, and now they punch it in and retake the lead.
19-yard touchdown by Marcus Harris II. Alabama State back on top by 4. More Swac football coming up next.
Davers and I are cousins. Our grandma is from here, so Dave arranged for us to join this Polish tour with you people.
A Real Pain is one of the best films of the year.
We're not at the right station.
And you didn't wake me up.
Oh, you were having such a good nap, dude.
Like you're on a tour.
Sorry, yeah, I know. I just didn't have the heart to wake you up.
Kieran Culkin is a force of nature.
Has he always been like this?
I love him and I hate him. And I want to be him.
It's a masterpiece of a movie.
Thank you so much, man.
A Real Pain, written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg. Rated R.
Let's go!
Do you love your country?
What happens when you're outnumbered 100 to 1?
You can't trust any of them. Do you love your country?
I am serving my country right now.
Your country
Well,
needs me.
and just like that, just like that, somebody that messed up the church's money. What I tell you, the offenses are moving the ball and the defenses are starting to break. Whew. I don't even know what to say now. Who want to win a football game? That's all I can say. Who wants to win a football game? And ain't too much time left up in here. Couple more possessions, player. Well, do you think ALCORN have it in them? You got about seven minutes left. Little more, a little less. Wow. Well, I can tell you this much. The winner of this game, like them old folks say, they're going to be smelling themselves. I'm telling you, the winner of this game is going to feel like that they belong in the SWAC championship game. This has been a true defensive struggle. Now the offenses have come alive. Oh, here we go.
Brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoor. Get the gear in here to have fun out there. Academy Sports and Outdoor, the official sports goods retailer of the SWAC. Home Depot, powered by purpose to champion HBCU. And by Nike, official sponsor of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And there you see, looking out towards the city of Mobile.
Mobile.
In the thick of the city. Lad People Stadium. for the Port City Classic. Alabama State on top 21-17 thanks to a 19-yard touchdown run by Marcus Harris.
Yeah, and then this has turned into a heck of a ball game here in this second half. We kind of had to, it was like pulling teeth for the first 30 minutes of action, 7-7 at halftime.
I don't think JSU can get beat this year in the SWAC, man.
Into an offensive rhythm here in this second half.
You got to stop Irv Mulligan.
Come all the way down to the wire.
Yes, sir. So here's Anthony Williams on the return. He's going to cut it back and tries to break a tackle, but he is going nowhere on that one. Tackle made by number 59, Jalen Lewis Horton of Alabama State.
I love a good Alcorn and Jackson
big running plays from the year with the Alcorn State Braves.
Yeah, Jacorian Sewell, over 500 yards on the season on the ground. You see that big run against Grambling a couple of weeks ago. And then Truck Griffin had a huge run 2 weeks ago in the loss to Southern, but he made a house call. And then here tonight, we saw Anthony Williams, the backup running back, scooting into the end zone to give Alcorn the lead temporarily. Now they'll need another one of those big explosive plays for Coach Cedric Thomas to see if they can pull it out here late in the fourth.
Here's Alcorn State, the wide receiver screen, and a big hit right there by Alabama State.
We're not going to the Alcorn Jackson State game. I will be live streaming that game.
Big man.
Snowball blitz coming off the edge, little inside tunnel screen, and he ran right into big number 99. You never want to run right into big number 99.
No, sir, you don't. Diablo McGee was the guy on the reception. Now, on that play right there, we got an incomplete pass intended for Tavarius Adams on the play. 3rd down and 8 coming up for Alcorn State as Lawrence remains in the game following the injury to Xavier Vaughn.
Now, if you're Alcorn here, don't want to overstate it, but you do not want to go 3 and out and give the ball right back to Alabama State after they just went down the field and scored on you.
Alabama State's going to send 4, pass complete out to the far sideline. It is complete, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see what they've got here. So the penalty will be on Alcorn State. They'll replay the down.
It's almost a break for the Braves because they would not have had the first down. They
Correct.
Had to pump the football away. You saw Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. dialing up the blitz that time. They brought Deshaun Jackson on a safety blitz. Here he comes again, number 1 at the bottom of your screen.
Alabama State's going to rush 4. Lawrence is just going to step up, and he is going to be taken down from behind by Jackson.
Well, that's just tremendous effort by Jackson. He comes off the slot receiver to blitz. And then you'll see him fall off. Watch, number 1, bottom of your screen. Comes off the slot receiver, runs right into the tackle, sees the running back, step up in the pocket, and then circles back to drag him down from behind. That's just a great individual effort by Jackson.
6'2", 211 pounds. He's a transfer from Troy University, right down the road from Alabama State. And he's from Columbus, Georgia, so he grew up right down the road as well. Punting situation coming up for Alcorn. McMinn is going to field the punt around the 45-yard line. He's running backwards, and he's going to be taken down by Alcorn State for a loss on the return. So McMinn goes backwards on the return. So Alabama State will come back out onto the field. Looking for number 80. All right, so here's the classic history for Alabama State. In the games that are certified as classics, they have won 5 of out of their last 6. Of course, they have won 3 straight in the Magic City Classic. They also won the MEAC Swac Challenge.
Defensive end position.
And it's so funny you mentioned that. Usually that's in regular game prep notes, but still, when you get to the game, you still have to do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Here's a pass play going to the near side, and it goes through the hands of Asa Gregg. So Alcorn State is going to put Alabama State in a punting situation.
All right, 4
4:38
minutes.
to go.
Hey, man.
That pass from
Hey, it's showtime.
A little too high, had a little too much mustard on it.
It's showtime now.
And it goes incomplete, stops the clock. So that's a benefit to Alcorn State. They have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout as they trail by 4 with 4:44 to go.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Malachi Bailey versus Irv Mulligan.
For the Bama State Hornets. And a deep punt. It is fielded at the 5-yard line for Alcorn State, and that is Amarion Blake's.
That's actually a good return.
He is taken down quick, fast, and in a hurry by Greg Mango. More Port City Classic up next.
Well, you got 4 minutes and about 30 seconds left. Now it's showtime now, man. You got a 4-minute offense plan. You got a 3-minute, you got a 2-minute. Hey, would you rather Alcorn hurry up and go and score, or would you rather milk the clock so Alabama State does not have a chance to score? Something you got to think about. But this game is what I thought it would be. I didn't think Alcorn was going to be able to run like that over Alabama State, but they're running pretty good, way over Alabama State's average. So this game is living up to the expectations. I did pick Alabama State to win because of their defense, but as you can see, 2 of their starters are out, and it's showing. But that's no excuse because next man up. I don't believe in, this guy didn't play, so we lost. No, next man up. But I am surprised that Alcorn hasn't taken more advantage of it. They've been doing a great job taking more advantage of it because that touchdown in the second quarter, that was an impressive drive. You might want to string one of them drives up together right now, and you can take this one on to the house. But if not, I mean, hey, the Black Swarm defense got to show up. I've seen some vulnerability from Alabama State tonight that I have not seen. So, Alcorn is just Alcorn, in my opinion. So, but you got to watch these games, and you got to watch real carefully. You can find a thing or two, because I've seen something in Alabama State defense that can be easily exploited, and I've seen something on Alcorn's secondary that can be exploited. Also, it just wasn't that one touchdown, that one long touchdown. So we definitely gonna see. All right, game on.
Alcorn State 21-17 in the 2024 Port City Classic in Mobile, Alabama. Alongside Ken Moore, I'm Mo Carter. Let's take a look at the Swac's upcoming schedule. Next week, Alabama A&M goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff, while Alabama State will go to Grambling State. Texas Southern, they'll be on the road against these Alcorn State Braves. Bethune-Cookman in Baton Rouge against Southern University. Florida A&M taking on Prairie View A&M, and Mississippi Valley will take on Jackson State. A good slew of games. As we mentioned earlier, the month of November definitely brings out championship type of
Just
ball.
imagine if Bethune-Cookman upset Southern.
Alabama State and Grambling is going to be a huge one for the Hornets, but they got to see if they can hold on to this 4-point lead here in the final moments of this one.
And here's a sack. Rico Dozier taking down Lawrence on the play. Second down coming up for Alcorn State.
Hattie, I can't tell you what I saw. You're a Jackson State fan. You're a Jackson State people. I watched
to the right side, and the inside man comes free.
Alabama State once again sending pressure. However, Lawrence is able to get the ball off. The pass is caught by Diablo McGee. He gets it back close to the original line of scrimmage. But yeah, on that previous play, Alabama State sending 6. It's only 5 guys to block, so one guy was coming free for sure. Third down, we'll call it 11 for the Alcorn State Braves. Under 4 minutes to go in the Port City Classic, regulation-wise. Alabama State sending 4, and the pass is caught, and then this slipping by defenders is Diablo McGee, and McGee is taken down in Alabama State territory. What an effort.
How in the world did Diablo McGee get out of that?
Look at this.
Two defenders.
Sandwich he got out of.
He just runs right through them to pick up huge yardage. Ran through the tackle of Maurice Lapierre.
Here's a swing out to Anthony Williams, and nothing doing on that play right there. Making the tackle once again, Deshaun Jackson. But yeah, on that last play, Lapierre literally had him in his clutches and then just let him go.
I don't know if he thought the play was over or if that was just tremendous individual effort that time by McGee, but nevertheless, a big game with a good stop by Alabama State on first down now, moving Alabama's Alcorn State again behind the chains.
2nd and 15 for Alcorn State. Here's Lawrence stepping up in the pocket under pressure, and he's going to be taken down again. The Black Swan defense coming through with another sack. This time on the play with the sack for Alabama State is number 44, Kanye Varner.
And you see just a lot of leakage right now from this offensive line of Alcorn. They're going to need to leave a back end, a tight end in, because right now, Alabama State is sending the house relentlessly.
Approaching the 2-minute timeout here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if Alcorn State gets off a play, and they will not. So 2-minute timeout will be taken right here in the city of Mobile. And man,
2 minutes left.
Man, what a game we've got between Alabama State and Alcorn State. Final 2 minutes coming up on the other side of the break.
2 minutes left. I hope they really have a 2-minute offensive plan. Hey, backup quarterbacks, third string, fourth string, whatever quarterback, you in the game now. That don't mean a damn thing. Hey, it's either you perform or you don't. This is real as it get right here, brother. Seriously. This is what it comes down to. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I know it's going to be some slow singing and flower bringing for one of these teams. That's all I can tell you, boy. Hey, don't worry about it. I got plenty of room in the boom boom room. Come on back up in here and grab me some of that moonshine. You can watch the Swac championship game up in here. But I'm going to Atlanta. I don't give a damn who playing. I will be representing Atlanta. But Alcorn, don't go away from what you've been doing. That's all I can tell you. You got them, but hey, I ain't no coach. I have no idea. But Alabama State, depending on the injury of that one young man that walked off in the cast, the other guy, he'll be back. I think he was the second leading tackle or maybe the first leading tackle of Alabama State. He'll be back. But the other guy that walked off in the air cast, if he's not back, Alabama State, you might be a little bit of exposure now. But hey, we'll see. Now ESPN Plus want to play these Las Vegas commercials. Uh-oh. Man, now look at this. Man, you better put this game back on. Wait a minute. This is crazy. Let me see if this game, man, let me see if it's on another channel, man. I've never seen this in my life. It's saying this is ESPN Plus. Y'all see this? This ain't me. Alcorn State Braves. You cannot make this up. ESPN Plus, you need your ass whooped for this, man. Hold on. Hey. Okay.
Yeah, it's about 4th down and the distance to Mobile Bay for a first down. But they're going to leave Lawrence out there.
Yeah, they need 29 yards, if my math is correct. 4th and 29.
4th and 29.
We've got a timeout. Alabama State, that's their first timeout.
I agree. ESPN Plus is trash.
Yeah, on that last play, Lawrence was trying to get the ball away. Griffin was right there to try to make the reception, but then his offensive lineman jumped in front of it. And he's trying to explain that to his
He may have thought it was a fumble.
Correct.
So he wanted to, secure possession.
And that's Jackson Pickett, who had the fumble recovery earlier in the game. Yeah, he thought it was probably a loose ball, and I get it.
Now I have no idea what happened because, as y'all see,
the scenario did not help out.
They said it was on a commercial break, then it ended.
4th and 29 coming up for Lawrence, and it's Alcorn State offense.
Now,
what play you have for 4th and 29?
Forward is
Get out of
obviously
here.
to let someone get behind you.
Absolutely.
You also cannot have a defensive penalty here.
Terrence,
that would be an automatic first down.
HBCU go in 2025.
Alabama State
try to get all the SWAC games.
As of now, looks
That's
like
the
they're going to
plan.
drop back the remaining 8. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence just going to throw it deep, and the ball is knocked down.
This game.
Alabama State will take over. So you were right, Ken, possibly going down. Possibly Alcorn was going to be put in a situation where they were going to have to almost throw a Hail Mary, and that's exactly what in Lawrence was instructed to do.
They got good protection. As you mentioned, only rushing 3. Try to get it to Warren in the middle there and could not come down with it. So that Swarm is one defense able to make a stop. And Alcorn State still has 2 timeouts. So Alabama State will still have to run a couple of plays here.
Yeah.
1 first down will end it.
Alcorn State with 2 remaining timeouts. So here comes Kareem Key. He's going to get under center, and he's going to hand it off to Harris. Harris is stuck in the backfield.
Oh, here we go.
By Malachi Bailey and company. Bailey's helmet comes off, so he's actually going to have to come off the playing field for a play.
Well, since they called timeout, he should be able to go back in.
And I think that's what he's been instructed to do.
So a heck of a ball game here tonight. A little bit of a slow start.
Correct.
Then the offenses got going. We saw a couple of big plays, big special teams blocked by Alcorn, got them the ball deep down in Alabama State territory, and they were able to turn that into points. Alabama State with a couple of huge plays. That big one on 3rd down in this quarter to Jalen Jones got them down inside the red zone, and they were able to punch it in with Marcus Harris the second, getting that 19-yard touchdown run to give them the lead that they currently possess at 21-17.
And, one thing you can say about Alabama State, the defense responded in the times that it needed to when their backs were against the wall. And then also credit the offense for coming out, taking shots, taking chances, especially when the momentum was shifting over to Alcorn State multiple times in the second half. Here's another handoff to Harris, and Harris is going to be tackled quickly in the backfield for a loss, this time by Jeffrey McKelton. And it appears that Alcorn is going to take their final timeout. Yep, 3rd and final timeout. As you take a look at head coach Eddie Robinson Jr.
So if this play is all the way out where they get another stop here, Alcorn could theoretically get the ball back with about 25 seconds or so. Alabama State decides to punt after this, if they obviously don't pick up this third down conversion.
And I think a lot of it is going to also depend on where that punt will land and where Alcorn State will take over. As you take a look at head coach Eddie Robinson Jr., former Swac Defensive Player of the Year. Here's an interesting note. He was Swac Defensive Player of the Year between Aeneas Williams and Michael Strahan. Pretty good company,
Not
right?
bad company, right? 3 pretty good NFL players.
Absolutely. 2 Pro Football Hall of Famers. So here's a handoff once again, and going nowhere is Alabama State's Daquan Kinsey. 25-second clock has a reset, 1:06 to go.
So what? Did they have 3 timeouts?
Or did officials blow it dead? They're calling everybody else back onto the field. 4th and 21 coming up.
So apparently Alcorn must have had all 3 timeouts.
And that's what Coach Robinson is asking. Like, did they have 2 or 3 timeouts?
Because the scoreboard said 2.
Correct.
But the officials on the field apparently said they had 3.
Of course, this game not only is huge in the SWAC standings, it's also huge for the future because of recruitment. Alabama State has a large alumni base here in the city of Mobile. And along the I-10 corridor, there's a lot of talent as well. Both coaches talked about that to us earlier in the year. Here's a deep punt, and Blakes will be on the return, knocked out of bounds outside the 20-yard line.
Uh-oh. It's crunch time.
Chippy around this time of the game.
Uh-oh.
But Alcorn State's going to have one final time to try to move the ball down the field, but they have no timeouts left.
No timeouts. 1 minute left. So it's time for the percolate. It's time for the percolate. It's time for the percolate. It's time for the percolate.
8 of 14,
I gotta say,
3 yards, 1 interception. He's been sacked 4 times.
It's time for the percolate.
Many more. And now he's got to navigate 85 yards against the #1 defense in the SWAC.
And we showed you that stat earlier. They are #1 in just about every category except for 1. Here's a quick toss out to the far side, and it is caught right there by
ownership percentage
Daniel
to
Jones.
SWAC, but the commissioner
Jones
turned
makes
it
the catch,
down.
gained the 5 of
Go
the play.
figure on that.
57
in 2025.
regulation.
Alabama State, obviously, you don't want to give up anything deep.
Is that Marco? You talking about it for 2025?
He's deep around the 38 yards.
They were just talking today. Oh, here we, bruh, this is crazy. I want to throw something at this damn thing here, man. This is insane, man. Bruh. This is not you. Y'all can tell this is not me. This is all ESPN Plus, man. How you gonna do this with a minute left? This is insane. I cannot make this up. I do apologize, but I don't control ESPN Plus, man. This is crazy. It's 2nd and 5 at Alcorn 21st 21st at 21-yard line. I'm dumbfounded.
Fourth.
Man, come on, man.
Second down.
This is insane.
So even when things go right for Alcorn State, they go wrong. You get a 5-yard delay of game against Alabama State to stop the clock, but then you commit another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And
what is it? What ESPN Plus? I want my damn $7.99 back.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. I know Coach Thomas on that Alcorn State sideline did not like to be put in that situation. Here's Lawrence. 3-man rush from Alabama State. He's going to swing it out. Pass is caught on the far side by Tavarius Adams. Adams will get out of bounds with 22 seconds to go, but he does have enough for a first down.
You just want to get in position
I don't know what the hell is going on.
For Lawrence to throw it into the end zone. You probably need to pick up another 10 to 15 yards or so. You need at least 10 to stop the clock with a first down unless you get it to the boundary and out of bounds.
Alabama State's defensive backs are playing off. They're rushing 3, dropping back about 8. Here comes 3-man rush. Here's Lawrence. He's going to throw it over and out of bounds. 16 seconds to go. Second down coming up for Alcorn State.
Quarterback was out of the pocket. I went beyond line of scrimmage. Nope.
Man, shut up, Clifford. You finally got a call right.
15 seconds. You have at most 3 plays, maybe 2.
Shit. One of you don't play your cards right.
So our situation, 15 ticks on the clock in regulation. Alabama State leading 21-17 in a battle of the teams currently ranked second in the West and East Division. Here is the pass. It is caught across the middle.
Tick, tick, tick.
But
tick,
Alcorn State's going to have to get up
tick, tick,
to the line
tick,
and spike
tick,
this possibly, and they do.
Woof.
There should be 1 tick on the clock remaining.
Uh-oh.
No, you got time for 1 Hail Mary. I don't know if Lawrence's arm is strong enough to get to the end zone, or this may be the old lateral pitcheroo situation.
You talking about pitchy woo woo?
Pitchy woo woo.
So here is potentially the final play of regulation, barring a defensive penalty. Trey Lawrence stepping back to pass. Lawrence is going to let it air out deep down the field. And it is caught, but 4 yards short of the goal line. Wow. The pass was caught, but he was 4 yards short of the goal line on the play. Alabama State wins 21-17. They capture the 2024 Port City Classic Championship. Man, what a game.
What an ending. It was Truck Griffin who caught the pass off the ricochet. And again, what an ending between these 2 ball clubs. A game that went to overtime last year. Alcorn State won it down in Montgomery, 23-20. And a game that went down to the final play, obviously, and it comes down to the final play. And Alcorn State connects on the Hail Mary, but just a little bit short tonight.
Just coming up just a little short. Alabama State with the 4-point victory, 21-17, as you see head coach Eddie Robinson Jr. And here's our our player of the game was brought to you by Gatorade, and it is Kareem Key, the 5th-string quarterback, 14 of 20, 145 yards, and 1 TD through the air. Congratulations to him, and also congrats to his Hornets for gathering enough to keep them in the race for the Swac East Division.
See, they bring out the sledgehammer at midfield to stake their claim, and they'll take the trophy home. And Key, he was the MVP of the Magic City Classic last week. This young man is making his mark at Alabama State as they stay in the hunt for a possible East Division championship. As they'll have a showdown with Jackson State later in the season.
Absolutely. They'll hit the road next week to take on Grambling State, and if they win, then yes, that showdown with Jackson State will be for first place in the East Division. But not going to count out Florida A&M as well, because they do have one loss. Right now, we're talking about Alabama State University and the Hornets.
As for Alcorn State, they fall 2 games now behind, essentially behind Southern, who won today. So they go to 2 losses, and they lose the tiebreaker to Southern as well. So they're a little bit behind the 8 ball after winning their first 3 conference games. They've lost 2 in a row, this one coming off a bye week, and they hope to regroup themselves next week as they head back home.
There you see Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. shaking hands with his president, Dr. Quentin Ross, along with his athletic director, Dr. Jason Cable. Those 3 men right there have done a really, really good job of elevating the university to the status that they are, especially when you can use the good mix of education and athletics together to make some things happen.
Man, what a ball game we had here tonight.
Absolutely. It started a little slow, Ken, but eventually it picked up, and, you know, we got our money's worth here today in the port city of Mobile, Alabama. We're trying to work our way to get Coach. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for. All right, thank you so much for joining us here for the 2024 Port City Classic for Ken Moore and our entire crew. I'm Mo Carter. Your final score: Alabama State 21, Alcorn State 17. This has been a production of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, there you have it. There it is. 117. And I have no idea what to tell you besides hit the like button, share, and subscribe. It's going down to the wire. But I will tell you this, from what I've seen against Alabama State defense, you are not going to be able to stop Herb Mulligan if you play like that against him. You're running that 4-2-5 against Herb Mulligan with the offensive line that Jackson State has. Jackson State will run all over you, especially if that young man, the one in the cast, if he does not come back in 2 weeks, and will he be 100% healthy in 2 weeks? Who knows? Now, the young brother that got kicked out, he'll be back. But that young man in the cast, he's just as valuable. And as you see, Alcorn took advantage of that. If you look between where Alcorn ran the ball, they ran the ball between the tackles. Then they started spreading them out by doing the jet sweep. Jackson State runs straight up the gut at you. And also, Alabama State's secondary really wasn't tested. The last time they was tested was against FAMU, and FAMU actually got the better of them in that game. I'm not talking about the 96, 91-yard interception return. But after that, Alcorn really didn't throw the ball as much. They threw it, but not as much. So they wasn't really tested. Alabama State got some work to do. Great win for them. Alcorn fought to the end. You got to give them their props. They fought towards the end. But this is going to be a very interesting next 3 weeks. So, hey, nobody's really out of it. You can say that Jackson State is going to win the East. I say Jackson State going to win the Swac. But they still have work to do. Now, next week they take on, who's that? Valley. Then they take on Alabama State. Then they take on Alcorn. So they win, what, 2 of those games, 3 of those games, it's over with. So now that West, that's a totally different ball game. So we can sit there, and if you got, let me see. if anybody has something to say, you want to come up, where's that link at? Hit the link. Come on. Hell Wildcats. HBCU Band Talk. You are the only Bethune-Cookman fan on this side of the Mississippi River. Salute and respect to you. I've never met a Bethune-Cookman Wildcat fan. You got to be the first, man. B Fresh says Bama State ain't got nothing for JSU. Only team can beat JSU is JSU. B Fresh, I kind of want to agree with you this year because the only SWAC game that Jackson State lost, they actually turned the ball over, 5 times in the Grambling game. So I do agree with you on that, sir. But hey, it is what it is. It's SWAC football, man. And as you can see, this game went down to the wire, and both teams were playing with backup quarterbacks or alternate quarterbacks, whatever you want to call it. But overall, I was shocked to see Alcorn run that ball like that. If you pay attention to Alcorn's first touchdown, with a minute left, 2 minutes left in the second quarter, they ran that ball down the throat. This between the tackles. If you can run the ball between the tackles on any team, you're going to win. But as long as these teams are playing that 4-2-5, that 4-2-5 allows for you to the offensive line to pull, trap, or double team, or you can go straight run at a straight downfield. Herb Mulligan only needs about a half a second. And you're not going to arm tackle Herb Mulligan either. So that's what Jackson State advantage is right now. And I keep telling teams, you got to get out of a 4-2-5. But what happens is Jackson State wears you down or puts you to sleep so early, like the game today, it was curtains for them folks, man. It's Bama State win, fifth string quarterback is on a three-game winning streak. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. That's impressive. Most teams don't have 2 quarterbacks. A lot of them have 1, and that's an impossible. When you're down to number 5, but Alabama State does have a good defense. But tonight they was exposed a little bit due to injury and the player getting kicked out. But they still have a defense now. But it's that game between Alabama State and Jackson State, that might be better than the SWAC championship game. It's going to be in Montgomery. It's most likely going to be either a 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock game. So it's going to be all eyes on them. Now, Alabama State needs to beat Jackson State and Jackson State to lose to Alcorn for them to win the SWAC East. Which, come on, man. It's not. I'm not saying it ain't possible, because Jackson has to travel to Alcorn, and Alcorn would love to throw it in Jackson State face to beat them in not only in Alcorn but to knock them out of the SWAC championship game. Man, come on. That'd be great, man. So hey, it is what it is, man. But we gonna go over the results of today. And then you can see it. You can see it. Alcorn State 17, Alabama State 21, Port City Classic. When they say Alabama State had 9 games in the state of Alabama this year, hey, must be nice. Southern 25, Alabama A&M. Will Coach Maynard have a job come Monday? That's the best. That's the only question out of that. Pine Bluff, where you pinched Jackson State for about a good 2 or 3 minutes. After that, it was over. Grambling, still don't get this one. But hey, you lost to Bethune-Cookman. Prairie View, you broke every Valley fan in the heart. You broke their heart today. 17-16. Texas Southern, you were scoring, but so was FAMU. 28-52. As I'm looking at see which quarterback had the best game, the most yards, and it looked like well, I'm pretty sure FAMU did. Where's the quarterback from FAMU? Yeah, Richardson was 25 for 33, 267, and 5 touchdowns. Like I said, he's the most consistent quarterback we have in the SWAC. Now, is he the best player? No. Followed by T-Set from Southern. He was 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rushing, you already know who it was. When you see Mr. Mulligan, 19 carries, 141 yards, and I don't think he didn't play the fourth quarter. That's crazy. Receptions. There's a couple of people. Alabama, Morris had 5 receptions, 96 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Let's see. That's about the running back from Perry View, McDowell. He was 21 carries, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he actually had a pretty decent rushing game against Valley. But still, 130, 130. Herb Mulligan might have 200 yards. If Jackson State play Herb Mulligan the whole 4 quarters, that man probably have 275 yards against Valley next week, man. So now, let's see what the SWAC. Hopefully the SWAC has updated their stuff. They usually don't update it. I think they be out partying late at night. They don't even have the scores posted already. Let's see. I'm trying to see if they updated their standings. Okay, they updated some of them. Oh yeah, it's updated. Okay. All right, let's look at this. The standings. Let's look at the standings from here. As you can see, the East, Jackson State 5-0, Alabama State 4-1, FAM 2-1. Bethune, I'm still tripping on Bethune. Cookman has 2 conference victories. Alabama A&M 1-3, Valley 0-5. Now look at the West. Hey. Southern is 4-1. Now, Alcorn, you in a real predicament, man. Because yeah, Jackson State may be your end game. You might win, but if you look at Southern's schedule, they got Bethune, Pine Bluff, and Grambling. Now, based on Southern's schedule, they should beat Bethune and Pine Bluff. But you see what? Well, it's Grambling. Grambling they have quarterback issues. I didn't know it was that bad, but they have quarterback issues. So Southern win 2 of those 3. It's a wrap for the Corn. They can just play spoiler, which I'm pretty sure they would be happy to be. And look at Alcorn's schedule. Alcorn has Texas Southern. Remember, Texas Southern beat Alcorn last year. Which if the Perry View team that played Valley, Alcorn will wipe the floor out of it with them. And then Jackson State, a rivalry game. It is what it is, man. And so then you look at Alabama State remaining schedule. They need some help. They need help from Valley and yeah, okay. See, look what they got. They got to go to Grambling. Now, the hole. Watch this damn hole next week. Watch this hole. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I didn't know they was playing in the hole. I knew they played Grambling. I didn't know it was in the hole. But they got to play Grambling, then Jackson State, then Prairie View. Not worry about Tuskegee. Then they got to, Alabama A&M, they might not have made nobody in. So you look at those remaining games, man, that's something there. So it is what it is, man. All Southern has to do is beat Bethune-Cookman and UAPB. You correct. Bama State versus Jackson State. That will be a game in Montgomery, and I will live stream it regardless of where it's at. If it's on ESPN, I hate ESPN Plus, but they do have the games that, like I said, HBCU Go only has 2 games. One game comes on at right now. One game comes on at like noon, and then the other game comes on, I think, at like 2 on one on the Griot. So it's only 2 channels they got right now. But if they take over the Swac with and put them on HBCU Go, I'm not worried about the quality of the picture and all that stuff. I'm worried about how many games will you be able to show. Because the Swac Digital Network was able to show they had 2 games going on at once today. That's what I want to see. Bethune-Cookman will also beat Southern next weekend. HBCU band talk. You are a diehard, but Bethune gonna beat. Okay, and man say Bethune gonna beat Southern. Hey man, hey bro, hey. What you say, talking into existence. That's all I can tell you, my young brother. That man said, hell Wildcats. I have seen it all. Hey, man. Now, I thought I was crazy because I tell everybody every weekend Valley going to beat somebody. And I know damn well Valley ain't going to beat. They sell out a wet paper bag. But this man is confident in Bethune. HBCU band talk, salute to you, my brother. That's hilarious, man. It's something serious, though, man. So, Southern, just say Southern will play Jackson State again for the SWAC championship in Jackson. What can Southern do differently than they did the first game? Because Jackson State is on a 4-game winning streak? Or it's either 3 or 4. Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 games in a row they've lost to Jackson. So what can they actually do? I don't know. I mean, hey, y'all let me know if you think what can Southern do differently to beat Jackson State, a team that they haven't beat in 3 tries. So you look at Jackson State remaining schedule. When you Valley's a victory. Then they have Alabama State and ALCORN. Now they beat Valley and Alabama State. It's over. It's over. So I know ALCORN fans are 38 hot, but hey, I told you, Alabama State had that defense, which I didn't think it was going to get exposed like that, but it got exposed. But they bend and didn't break. You take away that pick 6, that's a different ball game. But if I had the 6 winning lucky numbers for the lottery, I wouldn't be on this internet right now. I can tell you that. So hey, you got your ass kicked. You got your ass kicked. And so it is what it is, man. You gotta and who else is winning? My FAMU, their remaining schedule. They beat up on Texas Southern. So they got Prairie View and Valley, Bethune-Cookman. See, they actually have an easy, pretty much easy schedule going down the road. I mean, I get it. Bethune-Cookman is their rivalry, and I'm pretty sure HBCU band talk would tell me that Bethune-Cookman is gonna beat FAMU too. But hey, man, hey, I got you, brother. But that's an easy schedule. But they're gonna need some help. They're gonna need, like I said, they're gonna need Jackson State to lose a couple of times, man. And I don't see that. And that makeup game, 11-29 against Alabama A&M. So that's your main contenders. And ALCORN, boy, slow singing and flower bringing. You know, ALCORN was predicted to win the Swac West. It is what it is, man. They last 3 games, Texas Southern, Prairie View, and Jackson State. They can win all 3 of them and still, if Southern, I mean, hey. But this is, look, let me tell you this. To the 69 people up in here, this is Swac football. You never know what's going to happen on a Saturday night. I would have never thought that I would see Alabama State get ran on like that. But then again, Alabama State, as the comments corrected me, they are on a 5th-string quarterback, and they on a 3-game winning streak. Let that sink in. Only in the SWAC something like that can happen. So this SWAC football is not for the faint. Trust me, not for the faint. Oh, that's right. You're right, Lee Jr. It's a 5-game losing streak. You are correct. There is HBCU band talk. That man said, look, y'all need to screenshot what that man said. He said Bethune-Cookman will also beat FAMU. Hey, man. That's something serious, man. But you think Bethune gonna go into Southern and beat Southern in Southern? You know, it's daylight savings time now, so it get dark about 5 o'clock. You know, when it get dark in Baton Rouge, those lights and fireworks and all that stuff going on. You think Bethune ready for that? I don't know, man. This is something. It's something to see, man. I would, if I was a bet man, I would definitely would have bet you that Grambling would not have lost to Bethune. But you see how that happened, though. So it is what it is, man. You got. I mean, I would have never thought Valley was gonna come close either to beating Prairie View, but I think Valley just wanted to watch that scoreboard or something, because you was winning. But this probably gonna change. They got the best offense and the best defense stat wise in the SWAC. As you can see, it says the best offense, Jackson State. They're averaging 36 points a game. But Alabama State, they right about their average. Best overall defense, 18. So when Jackson State and Alabama State meet up, will defense win or Jackson State offense is just that good? We're going to find out. And then Jackson State has the number 2 defense. And Alabama State has a number 5 offense. So that game is going to be top 5 on both categories. Like I said, I think it's going to be better than the SWAC championship game, if you ask me. Because Coach Eddie Robinson can actually coach, and Coach T.C. Taylor can actually coach. Both of them are vulnerable. Seriously, we got to be honest. Both Jackson State and Alabama State showed their vulnerabilities. Jackson State vulnerability is their secondary. Now, as you seen tonight, Alabama State vulnerability is a rushing defense. So it is what it is, man. So I'm telling you, we need to buckle up for these next 3 weeks and make sure y'all following the stream. Had it say a team haven't beat and ain't gonna beat JSU. All right. Hey, you got to get up to Jackson State fans. That is the most loyal, dedicated fan base in the Swac. Seriously, you got to give it up to them. I was up at the Jackson State FAMU game, and I was disappointed that more FAMU fans did not come. But Jackson State, that side was pretty full. I think it was all about 29,000 just on Jackson State side itself. Now, I said on the FAMU side because I knew it was going to be plenty enough room over there. And FAMU had maybe a couple of hundred there. But that Jackson State fan base, man, when you go into that vet, that's something serious there. I totally respect them people, man. You cannot beat that, man. I mean, I don't know. HBCU band talk, Bethune-Cookman, y'all brought 20 people to Jackson State one time. I say, what y'all come in a minivan? So, but it is what it is, man. But hey, I definitely enjoyed everybody coming in and watching the game. Next week, I got to figure out which game will not be shown on the Swac Digital Network and HBCU Go. And then if it's a game that you want to see, just leave it in a comment. Just hit me up. You can matter of fact, man, I think I still got it. I'm on Instagram. Yeah, just you can either email me or DM me on my Instagram or this thing here. Yeah, that's true, Patty. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to HBCU football, when it comes to Jackson State, I've not seen a fan base like that. I'm like, man, it's for real there. It's for real. It's not just every now and then, it's every home game. So yeah, but like I said, the only week that for the rest of the season, the Bayou Classic, I will not be streaming any games that weekend because I will actually be at the Classic. Got to what's the name? Go pay my debt to the city. Yeah, this is it's my Instagram. And just send me, if you have Instagram, just send me a request or whatever. Send me a DM or whatever. That's what I was doing.
Love and happiness. Wait a minute, something going wrong. Someone's on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Talking about how she can make it right. Yeah. Happiness is when you really feel good about somebody. There's nothing wrong being in love with someone. Yeah.
That's my Instagram. That's OG74 on Instagram. Just if it's a game or tickets or something like that you trying to get a game that you want to see, you're more than welcome to hit me up, and we can do it that way. So yeah, but hey, thank y'all once again. It's only 8 o'clock. The night is young for some of you youngsters. So y'all get out there, y'all party, y'all be safe. Me, I'm going to take me a good hot bath and I'm going to bed. So Monday, check me out Monday. We'll go over the games, the scores that I seen. That was that I gave y'all. Go over some highlights. Start talking about basketball, and also start talking about the conversation that I heard about HBCU Go getting the Swac, getting more I guess media rights. You want to call it that? The more media rights over the Swac, because as you've seen, ESPN Plus tried to end this game what 2 or 3 times with a score that close at the fourth quarter. It's crazy. So, but we'll definitely see. But hey, hit me up, OG74. Let me make sure what I said. It's this my Instagram. Yeah, that's it right there. That's my Instagram. Yeah. Oh, y'all more than welcome. Anytime. My streaming, less talking, more action. And everybody have a good time. And y'all have a good night. I'm about to take me a bath and I'm going to bed. See y'all Monday. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Later.